Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Caliber, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Caliber is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using high caliber oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Caliber oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High caliber doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Caliber has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcaliber.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Caliber, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Caliber, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter. Welcome back to another episode of Send It Mate, the second last episode of Season 5. I'm Couchy.
I'm Caleb.
And I'm Josh.
Do we have any jokes tonight, lads?
We do. What did the receptionist at a sperm bank say as the client left?
Thanks for coming.
Thanks
Josh.
for
Thanks for coming.
You've said that. I believe that's been said.
What's the difference between a G-spot and a golf ball?
I can find a golf ball.
A guy will actually search for a golf ball.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Oh, dear. You got a joke?
I do have a good one, actually.
You do?
Hang on, I just got to compose myself for this one.
It's better be good.
So I walked in on my uncle shoving a carrot up his ass the other day.
I've seen this.
Okay.
I was like, fucking hell, now every time I eat that, it's going to taste like carrots.
Why are you eating your uncle's ass?
Yeah, I got to chuckle out of that one. See that?
That's the
That was
joke.
good.
That's the joke, bro.
Oh,
It's
dear.
good because it's real. Oh. Yeah, I got no jokes.
You got no jokes?
Nah, I got no jokes.
Got no jokes.
No, you said enough. I mean, you know, what else you got?
I'm sure I can
No, you haven't got any
wrestle
of it.
one more.
Oh, wrestle one from
Wrestle one?
the back of the memory bank.
Oh, shit. What did one butt cheek say to the other?
I don't know.
Together we can stop this shit.
That's all right, actually. I don't mind that one.
Oh, shit.
All right, well, in front of us, we've got something blocking my view of my red skin.
We have the horse soldier. So this was sent in to us by what?
Nothing. Just the horse soldier, not the whores soldier.
That's the horse soldier. No, that's how you
That
pronounce
would make
it.
a good name for one listener.
Horse soldier.
Horse soldier.
We'll patent that. That'll sell.
Horse soldier, 87 proof
Yeah.
bourbon.
Yeah. How can we give it a rep?
Well,
You reckon?
it's been sent to us because this has arrived in a care package today from Chrissy Heenan, who we've had on the podcast. We've also had his missus on the podcast.
We have, Logan.
Logan, exactly. And he sent this care package across. We didn't know it was going to arrive in it. So big thanks to the man himself for sending that across. And in front of us, yes, we have this Horse Soldier bourbon, which we need to try.
We do. We also had a couple other goodies. We had a US Marine Corps flag that he sent us and a couple of gun magazines, which
Conveniently haven't made their way for us to see.
No, they're just down there. But,
Sitting in the bathroom at Josh's.
they're full of firearms that we can't possess. Yeah.
That's all right. Well, we can look at what we can't have. It's like any sort of porn. Like just because it's gun porn, like normal porn, there's a heap of stuff you can't have anyway.
You can smell the corn.
The corn.
The corn.
I like corn.
Now, I remember it's a
Can I smell it first?
straight spirit. Well, you
From
could.
the bottle, not from the manky cup. Ooh,
Give us a smell.
that smells great.
You can smell the corn.
Well, read the description. What does it say on the back of it? Tell us.
The top bit?
The
The United States of America was
today.
forged by pioneers, bold trailblazers.
Not that bit.
Well, that's why I asked. Fuck. Horse Soldier Bourbon Whiskey is uniquely complex and aged in charred new American oak barrels. Every bottle of Horse Soldier Bourbon Whiskey is a piece of American history. It is carefully crafted by Green Berets who answered America's call just days after 9/11 with a daring insertion into northern Afghanistan on horseback. This brave and unconventional act earned them the moniker?
Yep.
The Horse Soldiers. Yeah.
It's gonna have a kick to it, I reckon.
Well, yeah, because it's a fucking horse, man.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, hang on. I want
Steady.
to know what we're up for.
We'll just get people's reaction.
I think this is going to be.
We need to get some Senate, mate, like chalices or something to drink out of.
You do.
What?
So supposedly. Hang on. I want to find the 87% proof review.
You just got to remember you drove.
Yeah, that's nothing, mate.
It's not fucking wine. I started twirling it.
Fucking every alcohol review is just a piece of wank.
That's going to burn.
I'm already getting a
burning
watery mouth.
All right. So this is supposedly on the nose aromas of cotton candy, buttered toffee, and popcorn with a mild heat and medium intensity. On the palate, surprisingly sweet yet balanced at first. Pepper, vanilla, and cocoa butter flavors give you a soft fish with hints of baking spices.
You talk so softly.
I dare say we're not going to get soft hints
Anyway,
of fish.
just fuck this guy's review. Let's just try it for ourselves.
Right.
Cheers, boys.
Lads.
Cheers.
That's actually not as like
It's not as burny as I thought it would be.
it's not a kick in the guts. As,
I think it kicks later. That's the problem.
That would be good. Hip flask, middle of the high country, winter, end of day. You finished hunting.
You want to
Just
sleep
fucking
good.
whip it out.
I'm getting the popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think of popcorn while you drink it. That is good. It reminds me a lot of wild turkey, but better.
It's I'm not a connoisseur of
Like better. Like much better. Like if this was premium wild turkey, I'd be quite happy. I mean, I'm quite happy with this, but it's
way to just
Why do you like turkeys more than horses?
shove it down from Chrissy.
It's not bad.
yeah.
I want to mix it now and see what it tastes like.
Oh, I don't think you can do that.
But you could, just tip it in.
Well,
We've had it straight.
the no sugar is going to ruin it.
realistically, every yank is now going to tune out as soon as we mix Coke into it. Yeah, straight spirits.
So you give it to me to do it?
Yeah, pretty much. I ain't going to be the first one. I ain't going to bitch out.
Where's the ice?
No, I'll drink
Where's
it. I just
the
want to. I'll see what it tastes like. The way I'm used to drinking it.
Yeah, no, do it. Ooh. Oh yeah, I got the popcorny
think
hit.
of popcorn. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, popcorn.
Yeah, got the popcorny hits.
One more.
It's all right.
I'm not tasting this popcorn.
You know how like you drink shitty, or you drink good wine at the start and then bring out the shit stuff later on because you're drunk, you can't taste it. Like it gets better after a couple of sips.
Oh, everything does though because you're getting used to it.
Yeah, you're used to acclimatized to it. It is delicious.
It is. It's not bad actually. I could drink that.
It's not too
fine
bad.
straight.
Well, I nearly have had it all.
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
And we're looking after your health as well, Couchy. It's sugar free.
Thanks, man. They say that the no sugar is actually worse for you than the sugar because of the shit they put in it.
No,
Or is that just sugar lovers saying that?
no.
I think that's Diet Coke. There's like carcinogens or some shit.
Oh, that's why they changed it.
Yeah, I think stevia is fine for a sweetener. Just think.
Oh, that's nice.
Is it?
It's different.
Oh, I'll send it then. We've got to try everything.
Yeah, now you got to try the
every
mix.
angle.
Yeah.
See, I want to be like a mad hard cunt right now and be like, Chrissy, I'll drink it straight and continue to drink it straight for you lads over
But,
in the States. But
Chris-
I really want to put some Coke in it.
Chris, Josh brought the Coke.
For you lads over in the States.
Yes.
Because they drink straight, not mixed
No,
over
they
there.
don't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but we have a fucking way better drinking culture and can outdrink Yanks, I would say, because they fucking
Drinking
drink.
straight spirits is a thing over there.
They also drink light beer. Fucking pussies.
They drink
Bud
straight
Light.
spirits or light beer. Who cares?
Most
You
Aussie,
drink.
I reckon most Aussie pissheads could outdrink Americans.
Yeah, because our Aussie pissheads.
Where's your
live on
fucking national pride, bro? Agree with that statement.
I don't know.
it. Nah, Josh is a fanboy.
Used to these days. You
Oh, no,
weak
I'm
as piss
fucking,
drinking.
I barely
Same-
drink.
Same with
Apart
me.
from when I'm here.
Only thing ruining this is the Coke no sugar right now.
Yeah. No, like it tastes different, but yeah, you can tell the no sugar.
That is a delicious,
Thanks, Josh.
delicious bourbon.
You both need a little less sugar in your diet.
I'm already cutting it down, man.
Get rid
Literally.
of this Coke.
I'm just not cutting down the debt. And that's probably the worst one.
I'll keep drinking it straight.
Okay, you do that. This is going to be an interesting podcast from you.
Have another one, man. Ooh. Where'd it go? Down there.
Anyway, you got this week's PII, man. Had a bit of a slow start.
Well, I thought the fucking whiskey was a PI.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A little care package
Fucking
which
no.
arrived.
Someone's had a slow start, haven't they?
Well, that was anticlimactic. Well,
What else we get up to?
I did try for the very first time on the weekend dabbing for gar.
Dabbing.
Yep. So it's literally like spotlighting for garfish. And I think, Caleb, you would, because you love spotlighting.
Would you say that you're catching gar under the candle?
Yes. Yeah, under the candle. Yeah.
This is not a thing. This cannot take off.
Yeah.
I'm just,
No one fucking says that.
Mate, heaps of people say it.
No one says under
Heaps
the
of
candle.
people. What do you mean?
I feel like starting a
You know when
poll right
you know
now.
miners, when they were like
kids
As
or
in underground or under
underground, like fucking in the 1600s or some shit. Probably not that late, but
No.
whatever. That have like
Probably
like what do you call them? A lantern on their, like a small lantern on their helmet, right? And then it had a reflective surface, and it was a candle essentially. That's where because it shone a spotlight, obviously onto where they're digging, and that's where it comes from.
because the
Candle.
light bulb hadn't been invented yet.
No,
But then it was, and then they call it spotlighting.
nah, but like, we're just getting back to the grassroots, mate.
Go into a gun shop and go, can I buy a candle?
They'll probably be like, yep.
And you're like, no, they're wrong silver.
They pull out the
scented candle shops over there.
candles.
They got tea light candles just for the people like you.
Doesn't lumens mean candle power? Like,
Pretty
It
sure.
does. Yeah.
I need to fact check that. But
Well, where's your phone? It's right next to you.
is
Fact check it right
is
now.
lumens? What is lumens in relation to candle power, or is there a different measurement of candle power?
Because when I was young, it was still candle power, like or candle, like it. That's how it was measured.
Brightness is lumens, but what does it mean? Like, what is?
Yeah, that's what I'm just getting there.
Yeah, no. Fucking finger your phone
What
quicker.
he says.
It's almost like the equivalent of horsepower and kilowatts. It's exactly the same thing.
The
It
thing
is.
with lumens is you know if you know what a light is, and you know it's like, I don't know, 800 lumens, then you sort of know relative if something's going to be brighter or less.
Does that mean it's 800?
But it
candles?
relies on you knowing what something. You have to have a fucking baseline somewhere of knowing what a certain lumens looks like.
So a candle.
No,
One candle equals to
fuck you can.
100 lumens.
Just stop calling it. Stop calling it
Lumens come from, like the Latin word is lumen, which
Yeah.
means light.
Okay,
So it's nothing to do with candle. So I was wrong.
so there you go.
So how did they come up with lumens? How did they come up with that measure?
No, but
without creating light.
Now, the word lumen is Spanish, and it means light. Or Latin, sorry, and it means light.
There's a light meter which tells you how bright a light is, in 800 or 1,000 or 1,400, whatever.
Is that what you're asking? What are you asking, Josh?
I think he wants. A confirmation that candle power is a thing.
Yeah, he wants to move the goalpost once again to the point of candles.
Anyway, the end result of this conversation.
Yeah, so it was candle power, sorry, when I was young. That's right.
When you
Because I
were
remember Dad had a Tandy spotlight.
Tandy, there's a blast from the past.
We still got it. We still use it every
Tandy.
now and then.
Is
The
Tandy brand.
spotlight. Yeah.
Tandy.
Mate.
How many
Tandy
lumens was that?
spotlight.
I bet
And it
you
was candle power.
Bet you bought some CDs from Brashers as well.
I remember on the box clearly seeing as a kid, X amount of candle power. And on Google it says a light with a candle power of 10 million, means it emits the equivalent of 10 million candles. Yeah, so that seemed
So candle power
was a thing.
a unit of measurement. What is your spotlight? How many candles?
It's probably 7.
The old one, or the Tandy one, I have no idea, man. I just
Spotlight-
remember
the spotlight we use spotlighting. How many candle power is it?
Good God,
How many lumens is it?
If
We don't know either.
You're gonna have
I
to
can tell you what, it's not a single candle.
No, you're gonna have to refer to spotlighting if you're gonna say candle under the candle.
under the
candles.
under the millions candle.
Yeah,
It's going to be in the millions.
by the millions.
There's a million candles shining at that fucking set of eyes, at least.
Yeah, I don't know. Just say like a fucking tea light candle. You light that up just by itself, it doesn't do much. But if you have cover half of it to direct the light, it goes all right.
So it's 10,000 lumens is the 170 light force.
How many candles to the lumen?
350,000, sorry.
350,000 candles we're shining at shit before we shoot it.
350.
You're right. You'd be fucking under the candles.
Candle power.
For sure.
Shoot the fuck out of it. 350,000 candles. Could you imagine how much room 350,000 candles?
You imagine trying to carry that around? It's just like a fucking...
Probably why they went to lumens, man, in a unit of measurement. But just the same as horsepower and fucking kilowatts. No, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, horsepower. I don't know. I don't have a problem with horsepower. I definitely have a problem with candle.
When you boil
God,
it down,
man.
it's muchness, but...
My God. As I said, I still remember the Tandy box, man. It was like this light blue box. It's fucking terrible. Oh,
Could you see in it?
Mate, that spotlight worked flawlessly. It still works to this day. You just change your halogen globe when it blows.
BYO candle?
Yes, you lit a candle and put it in there. And the reflective surface.
It goes through a prism of just mirrors and then just directs out the top end, like a reverse telescope.
But I kind of figured it was a real unit of measure because of how they used to have their hats in the mining industry.
Yeah, that's fine, but I feel like you still shouldn't call spotlighting.
No,
Under the
it doesn't
candle.
justify it.
How did you shoot
okay,
it?
you can't go like, oh, let's go out for a candle, let's go out for a spotlight. But someone says, oi, how'd you shoot that deer? Oh, under the candle, mate.
No, I fucking spotlighted the cunt.
What you're going to say? Like,
That's what I would say.
How'd you get the how'd you get to the beach? Oh, fucking by the cart, mate.
Is it to
How many
avoid?
goats did you pull?
Are you avoiding a stigma associated with spotlighting?
Like, dude.
Is that what you're doing?
Oh, are
Is
we
that
getting
what you're
into
doing?
some
Yeah,
psychosomatic shit right now?
He's going to burst out crying.
I need to break this down. There's nothing wrong with spotlighting if you're doing it legally. People say, "Oh, that's not really hunting," but it has its purpose.
All right, so here's one for you. You're on Vic Crown land, and a ranger pulls you over for spotlighting and says, "Oh, you're spotlighting, it's illegal." And you say, "No, I'm just running the candle, mate." It's different legislation.
He'd be like, "I'm gonna fucking lock you up for being a weird cunt."
Oh, shit.
Unless you're actually holding a candle,
That would be
I
funny
don't
as fuck.
think-
See, I'm going to fight back, actually, because Cody, dear old Cody, I was a brunt of his memes this week, and that was one of them.
I think you're the brunt of most memes.
Yeah, well, someone's got to be real, mate.
You're the most outspoken, outrageous. One.
Yeah.
I just say
Because
what
you
I
adopt
think.
these terms. You just fucking pick up on them.
I just say what I think, mate. Same with the little bloody ear tag in the hat. It's gonna take off, mate.
It's not. You
It
look
is.
I'm glad you're not wearing that hat tonight, to be honest.
looks like you. It just looks like you got a bread tag in your head, in your hat.
It's fucking just look like a mouldy piece of bread.
Mate, dudes wear earrings. So why can't you have an ear tag in your hat?
You should,
I hope you wear a.
Did you have-
wear an earring in the gay
Yes.
ear? In the gay ear, wear one.
Is it? Oh, here's one for you. Which ear is
I don't know which
What's the
one is
gay
left
gay
or
ear.
right? I feel like you just get both done just to negate that.
It used to be a thing to signal you were gay. It's discreetly was to have an earring in. I
I'm gonna
don't know
say
if
left.
I don't
Yeah.
know if it was the left or right.
I'd like to say left.
I reckon just hunch.
Someone who's not out yet, please,
Have you ever had an earring?
please message us
I
and tell
know
us
you
which
have,
ear
though,
it
haven't
is.
you?
Nah,
I swear you had.
never had an earring.
Never had.
Nah.
No.
I was still like scared, I think, into my 20s coming home if I had an earring.
Why
from
did I
dad.
think you had an earring?
Nah, never.
I remember some cunt got suspended when I was in primary school for piercing his own ear.
Mm.
He got suspended. Pierced his own ear. Like just literally put his ear on a brick, got a nail, fucking hammer, bang, pierced his own ear. He got suspended for that for whatever reason.
For self-harming.
Yeah. Do you remember the girl was trying to pierce her own stump, like belly buttons?
Stump belly buttons.
I was going to say stomach, but I meant belly button. Like, do you ever remember that?
It's an Audi belly button. It's a little
Just
stump.
like, what the hell are you doing, man?
I don't remember that at all.
Don't you?
No.
Yeah, it was ears, belly buttons. Fucking, I'm sure some titties were done. I don't know.
Probably.
Oh, you wouldn't want to do a backyard fucking tit piercing, surely.
You wouldn't want to do a backyard ear piercing either, man, but people still do it.
Yeah. Supposedly, supposedly there's a fucking nerve or something in your ear
No, eyebrow.
that can fuck you up pretty
Yeah,
quick.
eyebrow.
And ear.
Andy.
Yeah.
I know it was the eyebrow. Like
I'm
it
not
was
sure
like
if it's
a
the
mill one
earlobe
way.
or I know the inner piece of your ear, that little lumpy bit at the front.
Actually,
There's something there that if you hit the nerve, it fucks you up.
Fucking that
Like,
remind.
real
I
hard.
watched something on Instagram where a friend of this chick, she took a nipple piercing out, and then she pulled
Had a
out
piece of cord?
She thought there
Yeah.
was a hair
Yeah.
in her nipple. She pulled this what she thought was a hair out. It ended up being a fucking nerve. She
Yeah.
just fucking pulled a nerve.
Because
end
supposedly you
out
can't
of it,
feel it if it's pulling out.
and she passed out or something. She just pulled a nerve out of her tit because she thought it was a hair.
People are cooked.
Yeah.
Fucking cooked. Jeez. Well, here's one for you. So,
Oh, yeah.
covering, clearly none of us are going to get an ear pierce. Unless we become
let's not rule
millionaire.
it out.
Unless someone becomes a millionaire and puts it on the table like for $1 million
I
bucks.
have no reason to pierce my ears.
For $1 million bucks, if I put it on the table,
What about
right
it? Yeah, what about a dare?
You've said you'd root a chicken for $10,000.
I do not recall.
I recall that very well.
Surely, there-
I don't think I'll go
that
with
was
chicken,
a
but I'll probably have to go
seven-figure.
turkey.
That was a 7-figure number. 7 figures, not 5, not 6, 7-figure.
So $1 million bucks on the table to get your gay ear pierced, whichever one that is.
Yeah, I had to do both because we don't.
Neither of my ears are gay.
Yeah, you got to go here.
But whatever the
$1 million
ear,
bucks.
whatever the ear is that discreetly identifies you as gay, then
$1 million bucks.
Oh yeah, fucking
Fuck
no.
no.
For $1 million bucks, I would. I wouldn't keep
You
it.
wouldn't do it for $1 million.
You wouldn't pierce your ear for $1 million.
okay, of course I would. But then I'd do the other one.
No, just
If you said to me, "I'll pay
just-
you $1 million bucks if you pierce the ear that tells everyone you're gay," yes, I would do that for $1 million bucks, and then I'd go and pierce the other ear.
I'll just remove the piercing.
All right, so all of our listeners, yeah. Why would you just
Why
give
would
it?
you just take it out?
Leave it in there for a day and then just be like,
As soon as
yeah,
I get
cool.
the money, it's like gone.
So here's one for the listeners. We need to start a GoFundMe account to get Caleb's ear pierced.
Wait, what's he getting $1 million? What about all three of us?
No, it's the
split it.
tax man has to.
Oh yeah, we get 30%.
Yeah, each.
All right, done.
Oh, dear. All right, so here's one. Tattoos. Getch, you got a tattoo. I got a tattoo. You've got none.
I'm clean skin.
Would you?
I feel like we've been here.
I know we have been here, but I mean, like, have you given it any more
Actually,
thought?
since you did bring this up, I did reflect on that. And at the time I said it would have to be something to do with my kids because they're the only thing that's forever. But I think maybe something deer related.
Just get a stick with a feather on it. The great eagle in the sky's feather. Sorry.
I think the old like deer skull, something pretty cool around that would be.
Where?
Just the lower back.
I feel like chest.
Tramp stamp.
Go with his piercing.
See, I feel like if you get something deer related, it has to be your chest because that's a bigger area. But then I feel like you have to have a decent chest to warrant having a tattoo on it, which draws attention to it. So unless I fucking decide to get absolutely jacked in my chest, which ain't going to happen anytime soon, then I probably won't be getting.
I would feel like a deer head will work well on the shoulder and have the antlers wrapping around the back and front of the shoulder. Not like chest.
I feel like all the best deer tattoos I've seen are on a chest, and the antlers are like across your chest.
Okay.
I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I've seen a good deer.
It's quite hard if you've got a decent chest, right? Obviously,
Settle down.
the antlers coming out sort of doesn't look right, so you want a nice flat surface. Like to my mind, a back would be a better surface.
Who wants a deer on the back?
Yeah. Like upper back, not a tramp stamp.
Don't go fucking hunting in summer. You get shot in the back.
No, it's a Euro mount.
You'd have to be
some
a Euro.
dickhead out there that's still shoot you.
There's some hunters chasing you, trying to pick you up.
Look, I only thought about this week actually because I was sitting there in the gym the other day and I'm looking around and every lad apart from myself in the gym had pretty much tattoos from neck to their legs. Like they're wearing shorts and, you know, right down to their ankles they've got tattoos. I'm like, I actually feel like the odd one out.
It's the full neck tattoo that I'm like, fuck, you got to be committed.
Oh, man, half of these dudes face tats and right up the neck and I'm
I
just
feel like
like,
there's a
okay.
stereotype of dudes who are at the gym during the day.
Yeah.
Are you...
Yeah. People that don't work.
Are you? Are you? Yeah, I feel like you're belittling people because of what they look like.
No, they're
No.
night shift, man.
I'm not belittling people. Like, you got full tats across your whole body. Depends on what gym you go to as well, I suppose. But I know what gym you go to. There's one I would have expected.
Dermot?
No. I
what
don't
you're
go.
thinking?
I don't go to Dermot's like
don't?
for that reason, man. Like,
I don't even go to the gym, I don't know that.
like,
There's a crowd.
yeah, no. I just look. It's a good gym. The facilities are great. Don't get me wrong, but
So you've been.
I had like the special one when they first opened around the corner from mine. And it made me think about it. And I realised I'm not going to go. So why sign up? Probably go twice and then be like, fuck this.
so how do you keep fit for hunting?
It's naturally fit.
Naturally fit? Yeah, you'd get away with
He's
that,
a
wouldn't
fucking
you?
freak, naturally.
You are.
Just one day it'll catch up. It's catching up, actually.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. Fucking, you're the one that's going to the gym and losing size or somehow.
Yeah, shredding for stereos, mate.
Haven't they stopped stereos?
Yeah, stereos isn't anymore.
Never been to stereos either.
We don't have a decent music festival anymore.
Nah.
They're all fucking shit. They're all like Triple J style bullshit. Actually, there is a good lineup. Actually, Slipknot's coming next year. So is Blink-182, but Slipknot's coming next year, and there's a decent lineup on that.
No.
It's not a festival, but there's a decent lineup of other bands. But
Just a concert.
not coming here.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's Adelaide.
Eastern
they're
States.
avoiding Adelaide.
Eastern states only.
Why would you come to Adelaide, mate?
See how they go like Bris, Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, and then they leave. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's because it's sleepy old Adelaide. They probably just don't sell enough tickets to make it worth their while. I mean, you got to think about how many tickets they'd sell in Sydney. Shit. Like Blink-182 in Sydney. Fuck.
Yeah.
They're making some coin.
Yeah, and Melbourne.
Yeah.
That's
Making
if,
some serious
that's if
coin.
Travis fucking flies for a change.
Hey?
He doesn't fly.
He doesn't fly.
Wait, how's he get across the?
There was a
overseas?
fucking
It's a boat.
aeroplane crash which gave him a fear of flying. So he hasn't toured like overseas for fucking ages.
That's
So when
understandable.
my missus was like, "Oh, let's get tickets to Blink-182," I'm like, "One, fuck that. It's like in 2020, maybe 24. I don't know.
That sounds like
fucking
Cashy's New
ages.
Zealand trip.
It's ages in the future." And then I'm like, and I wouldn't go if if Travis Barker doesn't come. Because what's the point?
You know why?
I've seen Blink-182 without Travis Barker at not a big day, out of fucking, what was that other festival that went for a little bit? Soundwave.
Yeah.
There was no Travis Barker. They had another drummer. It just wasn't the same.
You sure?
I'm sure. He was playing the same drum parts, but it's not with the same flavour as Travis Barker.
The same flavour.
Yes.
You'll radiate a flavour to you.
Pretty sure it was Brooks Wackerman.
Okay.
Anyway, you two are just like, whatever.
Brooks Whack-A-Mole. All right. Never heard of him.
Yeah, let's book something in for 3 years' time. Fuck that. Let's go next year. Let's go next week.
Is that a dig?
It was at your New Zealand trip.
Only because I want all three of us to come.
This is what happens when you have
It's
more
still
than
not
two
gonna happen.
friends, Josh.
Yeah.
It's still not.
And
No, you only have 2 friends. You're just forced to be friends with other people.
not all the time.
Quality over quantity, definitely.
Not all of them.
I'm definitely an advocate for quality over quantity.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Then when you have a missus is quite a social person, then by
You can't say
association,
no.
by association, I've fucking let her down on a lot of things. Just like, nah, I'm off to ADA or I'm going hunting or whatever. And she's had to go stag to a lot of stuff this year. A shout out to my missus.
Does she
She's
enjoy
fucking
it?
Does she have a
long-suffering.
penis?
What?
What? You said stag.
Going stag to something means you go by yourself.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you can't talk about that and you call it candles.
Touche. All right.
I feel like that's acceptable to call it going stag.
All right. Look, I still think we need to get this New Zealand trip happening.
Oh,
and
for
I
sure.
agree. It's
Let's
for
get it
all
in.
3 of us.
I think we're going to be busy enough next year with what we're going to do anyway.
Well, this is
go
something that
overseas.
we were talking about prior, and that's
We won't mention it.
having the tinny. I want to get us to Queensland and do a fishing trip, camping from the tinny.
Yeah, that
Right.
too. Yeah.
You know, I want to do it. No, I'm going to hold what I said before the podcast. I'm just going to belittle you, both of you, until you go. Until you're just like, yeah, all right.
You're going to belittle me until I go.
Yeah, I'm going to berate you and belittle you and
Sounds like
guilt
gaslighting.
trip
Josh.
you.
Sounds like
and
gaslighting.
Sounds like just
manipulate
Josh.
Are you a
you
gaslighter?
and-
You're a gaslighter.
Oh, I'm just gonna, it's gonna be subtle digs. So, when you can't make something on the weekend,
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh yeah,
You're just going to do your normal thing.
tinny trip in a month.
That's just you, Josh. Like,
Gaslighting son of a
it's not
bitch.
anything special. We're all used to it.
Thanks, man.
Always, man.
Yeah,
Cheers.
I'm gaslighting now.
Cheers.
Cheersing to him gaslighting.
Oh dear.
Josh is coming out. He's found his gay ear.
I get like
That's why he liked the fucking deer head on the back. It's just
I'm just
an arrow to the
imagining.
arse.
I'm just imagining dudes rubbing their dick on his gay ear.
that escalated
Just come up behind him at the
really
gym.
quick.
Just come up behind him at the gym. Just rub a dick on that ear. It's my gay ear.
I get
It dabbles.
like super excited, sort of like
When you see a
thinking
dude-
Great
about
timing.
thinking about
Just feel it
the-
rubbing inside the ear.
Penis.
thinking about the logistics of a trip away, and then you let me down so often.
What?
You do.
How?
If I booked it in, locked it
Just
in,
don't
I don't
go-
let you down.
just-
I never let you down when I'm locked in.
And just don't go, we're going to fucking Queensland this weekend. As long as you don't say that, we can organise it.
I'll say no when you throw something out there on a whim. But
You're
if it's
a
locked
king
in
of the
and I'm
spur of the
coming,
moment
I'm
fucking
out.
trip.
I'm
No,
there.
I'm not. We know other people that are
Same name.
way,
Same name. All right?
way better at the spur of the moment stuff.
Gets you off guard.
It does actually. It definitely does. I'm like, what?
He has some dedication just up and going.
To be honest, we're obviously talking about Josh. He's
Same name.
like I've learned a lot from him, and I want to be more spontaneous.
No, you don't, Josh.
I do.
You're spontaneous enough, I think.
No, I do, because I feel like, otherwise you just sit down and let life pass you by, or you're just repetitively going to the same wineries or same dues every weekend, and
Gym every day.
just boom, 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 same shit. So yeah, I certainly do want to.
That's fair. That's a fair comment. I'll fair comment.
Yeah.
Well, the older you get, surely you're feeling like life is just fucking whooshing by, and you just
The older I get, the
shit.
more life shits me off. And I just want to be doing something
100%.
different.
Yeah, but do you ever stop to just sit there and be like, "Fuck"? Like it's December. I'm looking back going, holy fuck, this year is just like,
And it has flown, yeah.
and I'm like, that's another year gone. Have I made the most of it? No. I made the most of the start, and then it just sort of like died with momentum.
It's because it's fucking rut. That's why you made the most of the start.
No, but you can chase shit.
Why haven't you?
Exactly.
Why, Josh?
Exactly.
Why have you dropped the ball?
I've dropped the ball, man. I'm like, oh, fucking hell.
Sounds like your dedication's not there.
'cause
Do
I
you even
got-
like,
it's 'cause I got
do you
a
even
bigger-
like hunting, Josh?
It's because I got a bigger fella.
And I'm the manipulative one.
Because I got the biggest set of antlers this year, isn't it?
No, not at all. I'm actually stoked that you got that this year, man.
Yeah, because you can't beat it.
Yeah, basically. I can go up. You can't.
I hope your first red is just a fucking spiker, dude.
It was.
It was.
Okay, perfect. Done. That's why I don't see it
It's
anymore.
like fucking 8 inches of fucking antler.
It evens it out, doesn't it? If I get a half decent red, then we're sort of par.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I wasn't going for trophy, just meat.
Your eyes didn't.
Fuck off. You passed up
No,
quite a few deer.
the red
The red.
trip, I was just going for meat. Whatever red was there, I was going to shoot. And it's currently the fucking
Of course, you're going to say that when you don't
pelt
get a
is on
decent
this
red.
table.
It is actually.
This one?
I do like that.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to say that though. If you shoot a spiker, yeah, nah, I wasn't. I don't give a shit about trophy. I was just shooting meat. But if that spiker was standing next to a fucking decent red,
Yeah, 16
you'd be
pointer.
going for fucking trophy.
Yeah, suddenly
meat
it's
would
no
take
longer
the
a
back
meat
seat.
hunt.
Yeah, meat.
It's a
fuck
trophy
the
with meat hunt.
All I got room for is the head. I'm taking it.
I mean, on that particular trip,
No, we
I
don't do
just
that.
wanted to shoot a deer.
Yeah.
Whether it was a doe or a spiker or a trophy buck or stag, whatever. I don't care.
Fair enough.
No, I get that.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years.
Fuck, no, 18 months ago that was.
Shit.
Bloody hell, man.
I need to pick up the game.
So that's what I mean. Like, you're just sitting by, life's whizzing past, and you just, you procrastinate. Well, I'm not this weekend. It's too hard. It's too much effort. I've got stuff on.
Well, there's going to be plenty of hunting done next year. So I think we're going to make up for that. And there's plenty of reasons to go out hunting as well, apart from the hunt. Not going to get into it. But yeah, it's going to be a good year.
I'm keen to know what I feel like you're trying to like telepathically tell me something here.
Nah,
but it's
man,
just-
yeah, there's a
it's
fucking-
just not sticking.
There's a wall there that stops any signals going to your brain.
There is. It's called my skull.
And it's pretty thick.
Anyway.
Anyway, fuck you. I went dabbing for fish.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Right?
What a fucking digression. We're back to this.
I forgot we're talking about
We're
that.
back to this.
Yeah, well, that's what
We've
we're talking
gone
about at
full
the start.
circle for fucking half an hour. We're
Just
back
take
on
out that 30 minutes, man.
dabbing for fish.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, go
dabbing
on.
for gar.
How did we get from dabbing
And
to fish?
Caleb like, well, candles. We're
yeah.
fucking spotlighting, right?
Wow. Can we fucking
Sorry, guys.
digress? Sorry, everyone.
Anyway, so I'm out. This is the first time I've been out spotlighting for garfish, man. And look, I was sort of sitting there like garfish. I've never eaten garfish either.
No, neither.
And I love fish. I was like keen to try it, but I'm like, oh, spotlighting for fish. It was sort of like I was going into it with a mindset of why do we have a spotlight and why do we have a battery in the boat? Like I don't understand.
You're like, where's my rifle?
Initially, I was like,
you know
is this
why?
so we can find our way home whilst piloting at night in open water?
For doubles.
I'll tell you why. Because you're not using the fucking candles.
Anyway,
So where are the candles?
So we've gotten up. We started motoring through some shallower water. Started to see some gar, so we were like, oh yeah, it's gar time. Hooked up the candle. Got it ready.
Fuck off.
Grab the
Fuck
dab
off. It's
net.
not happening.
Grabbed the dab net.
You got to
The dab
You
net.
got to reference it as plural for candle.
Grab the candles.
Grabbed it.
Exactly.
Oh, 350,000 of them.
You got your Santa sack.
So I grabbed the candle. Anyway, started spotlighting for gar, and naturally, like, because there's a bit of an art to using the net, because obviously you can't see the depth. That's quite hard to sort of judge with the net. So you want to go in front of the fish, and they'll scare forward into the net most of the time. Like you can get them from behind, but most of the time you want to sort of get in front. But getting that net down to the right depth, is quite tricky, especially to start with. So naturally, my mate was driving. Josh is on the net and I'm spotlighting. So naturally when you're spotlighting, you go,
hit the
left to
horizon.
right and hit the horizon, and you can sort of see everything in the middle. And Josh is like, "What are you doing?" So I put the light down, and it was like a meter in front of the boat. I'm like, "What the hell?" And so naturally, I would just sort of gradually drift out into the distance again, and like you'd spotlight, and you would pick them up from afar, not all the time, and you'd miss a lot. Most of the time, you sort of do want it just a few meters in front of the boat, and you'll sort of pick up the reflection of the.
Are you guys like just floating at the time? We just drifting?
No. So we're actually in gear, going very, very slow forward.
It's idle.
So there's a bit of communication between the guy on the spotlight, the driver, and the guy with the net. Now, obviously, if it's on the right side and the guy on the net's on the right side, it's fine. But if it's on the left side of the boat, he's got to come around you and then try and, get out his angle to get this fish. And you're only a few meters out in front with the spotlight. So your time frame is very, very short to get ready.
Oh, so you catch a fish and then you follow it across the side of the boat?
Yeah. So you'll try and command the driver to get alongside of it, which is another difficulty in itself, basically, because he can't see.
So the spotlighter has pretty much all control
over the manoeuvre of the boat.
Yeah.
And the guy with the net, he can obviously chime in as well.
Yeah.
But
you'd want
can't-
one person to give direction. Otherwise, if two people are chirping,
Well, you say that, but when you're spotlighting, everyone chirps up. If there's three people on the back of the ute and like Dad's driving,
If Peter's in
it's
the car,
fucking stop,
shoot it!
stop, and everyone's just yelling at him.
shoot.
Yeah. Anyway,
Where is he?
you can't turn obviously quick in a boat because you're drifting at the same time. So naturally, I would find a garfish and it would be swimming off to the left. I'd be like, left, 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 and not realising the boat can't sort of turn quick enough. And you obviously, it's too far out for the guy with a small pole to net it. And so you just drive past. And Josh would sit there and say to me, no, just go back to the front of the boat and spotlight the front, thinking, when you obviously see a fox, chances are there might be one or two in the area or a couple in the area at the same time, but you'll fixate on one.
Yeah, you turn the light off and you started flicking the water to try and call it.
Come on. Here, flipper. But you just sort of, instead, you let them just go and you go back to the front because you'll see
There's more.
there's obviously a big school of them.
Yeah.
So you'll just pick out another one that's easier. Occasionally, we'd get it right and we'd be able to manoeuvre, especially on the bigger ones because you can, obviously the bigger they are, especially side on, they're quite visible. So it's sort of easy, or we got it right sometimes to manoeuvre the boat, say if it was way off left and get them. But the thing that I found very difficult and very, disorientating is you go around in circles and then I'll be like, where the fuck are we? Because you chase this fish and you do this sharp turn and you'd see you're chasing one fish,
Actually
but then
sounds kind of fun.
You shine the spotlight on the other side, and there's another one, and then you're trying to keep the spotlight on it, but you're turning and drifting at the same time, and you're like, all right, I got no idea where this fish has gone. This is too hard.
The neck minute is a rock.
Wow.
But it is target rich, just intense fun for kilometres. I think we sort of did about maybe 2K in the boat.
Do you reckon you can use bait? As in,
For-
just say you had your net, right, and in the opening there's a wire from the frame going down and a ball of bait in the centre of that net.
No, because you don't want to slap the net down or anything.
No, you just hold it in the water.
Well, you don't need to.
Yeah, but there'd be 6 fish go to the bait.
Well, I caught multiple in the one net just by scooping, and there was that many. You'd scoop and twist to lock the net off because with your dab net, you sort of tie a knot 2/3 of the way up. So you'd sort of put your net in at the front of the fish and trying to get him to swim into it. He'd swim into it and he'd turn
Twist
the net
over, yeah.
sideways so he couldn't swim out. And then you wouldn't have enough time to lift the net out and chuck it in the esky because you'd be onto another fish and you'd do it again and try and get both in the net. And then there was a couple of times where there was 3 and you try and get all 3 in the net at
You
once.
lose all 3 fish.
And you might lose one. I think we did it a handful of times. We got all 3. But look, it was that much fun. And because it's spotlighting and it's like this active approach to hunting fish.
Well, yeah, it's literally
fucking
hunting
sick.
fish.
Yeah.
I'm
literally
guessing
is.
when we go to get the boat.
Sounds
That's
fun.
what definitely what we're doing.
Well, let's do it. Like 100%.
Yeah.
And they taste phenomenal. Not that you like it, but they taste phenomenal.
I still enjoy catching it.
Yeah, but not eating it. So
Sorry.
why you catch it?
Well, we can eat
It's
it.
fun.
Wait, no, why do you hate that? Shouldn't you love that? A mate that likes fishing but hates eating fish.
No, I'm just hating on
If
him.
I
Who's
catch it,
getting
then it
fish?
means more
It's
for you
us.
to eat.
Us.
Yeah, but it also means more filleting for me. And look, my filleting skills are pretty subpar.
Have you tried filleting?
Yeah,
You might like that too.
I do.
Oh, sweet.
It is satisfying, actually.
I'll fillet
filleting
it for
fish.
you.
Do you like cooking?
I'll cook. Yes, I like cooking too.
You like squid, though.
I like it. Yeah.
You pretty much got a whole fucking just supply of food there.
I'll do
that won't
everything
eat
you
it.
do except put it in my mouth.
If I cooked it for you, would you
What
eat
she
it?
said.
Yes.
I remember cooking the
I love how you think if you cook something, it all automatically just turns everyone's opinion of something.
Yeah, because you obviously don't cook fish because you don't like it. So
What do you?
I'm
What do you? What are you
35
cooking?
years of age. I know I don't particularly like fish. I still eat some fish, just not really fishy fish. I'll go to the fish and chip shop. I'll have a butterfish, no dramas.
Well, this is something else I learned.
I'll have some
This
flake.
week.
I'll have some whiting, but don't fucking give me a trout.
This is something else I learned this week. All right, with your bigger fish more so. So most of your fishy flavour comes in with that red meat. So you want to cut when you're filleting. You want to cut that sort of red meat and veins sort of out of the fish. That's the best way I can describe it at the moment. And it'll actually like settle that fishy flavour down, so you won't get that intense sort of like like you're licking your fingers after just catching a fish. You won't get that.
You were going to say something else then.
But yeah, I dead set. I think you're going to froth nugget it, mate.
Stop saying that too.
You
That's
are
not a
going
fucking
to
thing.
froth
You're the
fucking nugget
full
it.
of sayings that no one's heard.
Nah, you will absolutely froth over it.
You latch onto some obscure shit.
You will, mate. 100%.
He's got to entertain his day somehow.
Because you like spotlighting and you like that target-rich environment, like we all do.
I actually like candling.
Do you?
Prefer candling.
See,
It's quite relaxing.
all the listeners out there, this is what I've got to put up with.
It's quite relaxing candling.
It's called
That's a good
calling you
move.
out on your fucking shit.
It's a fucking candle, mate.
It's a flicker, man.
It's a candle and you're froth nuggeting over it, all right?
Froth nuggeting is not a thing.
It flicks to a beat.
Frothing, definitely a saying.
Froth nugget.
Mate, I froth that.
You never heard the froth nugget shirt? I actually bought.
It's a brand. It's not a
Justify
fucking saying.
froth nuggeting.
Talk about fucking shirts. I bought myself a M.A.G.A shirt the other day. It was sick.
Huey.
Yeah, from BCF. I needed a
Was that?
new fishing shirt. And
Was
I
that
ended
your
up
white
buying a
one?
singlet.
Oh, no, yeah. Give me.
Yeah, I ended up buying it. It's actually pretty cool. I like it. I hadn't really heard of Mad Huey until my missus told me about it.
You haven't heard of the Mad Hueys?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of them.
Wow.
That's the first time. I don't really actively look for them.
Yeah, but you shop at Kmart.
Is this Kmart? Is that where you got it from, Josh? Keep going.
That's it.
Ah.
We did catch some squid.
Yeah. How much?
I bought
what did
a
you catch the trip?
I'm probably not going to say this right, but
Probably.
Most definitely.
I keep thinking Shimatsu, but it's
Shimatsu.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
oh fuck, I'll find that.
Shimano? No. That's a
Shimano.
fucking brand.
Shiatsu. Daihatsu.
Let me just.
Stingray.
What is it? What is the item?
Oh, is it an item? I thought you were talking about fish. Shimano is a
Yamashitsu.
Yamashitsu.
Yamashitsu
Did you pronounce that right?
squid jig, actually, and they're the bomb. Matt got us onto them last year, and I bought a couple. I bought a few more this week actually, and man, the squid just go nuts over them, like dead set.
What's it look like?
Oh, it's a squid jig.
Looks like a dog on a motorbike.
Yeah, but what's it
Naturally,
look like?
we can get multiple different colours
yeah.
on them.
That's
I used an orange.
What
I
was the one that you bought? What colour was it?
So I started off with like a greeny, a tinge to one, greeny and gold, and that really wasn't working. And I wasn't like Josh had just caught a squid off of his, and I'd sort of cast behind. There was a squid following his in, and it wasn't really sort of interested. So I changed to a orange one, and man, did it work! Bloody hell. I would froth nuggling over it.
Stop saying it.
Was it night?
Yamashitsu.
Was it night time?
No.
Or
But I learnt something else.
midday?
Oh, hello.
Do you know there's a glow ring at the bottom of a squid jig? Like one of those glow. You put your torch over it and then take it off and it'll glow. I didn't know that either, man.
What?
Yeah, just this little ring
Right
right near where the hooks
certain
are.
ones would have it. Others, it's not a
Well,
common
yeah,
thing.
I'm sure, but it's quite a common thing.
You probably get it in your $40 fucking squid jig.
Nah, 20 bucks. But Yamashita is fucking 21
What is it? What is it? Yamashitsu. Yamashita.
Yamashita, I'm pretty sure.
Get out of it. Google the fucking
Fucking
thing.
hell.
Yamashitsu.
Shitty yummy.
Yamashita. It's very different.
Who would name a product yummy shitter?
I feel like the best squid jigs I've used, though, are Japanese for some reason.
It's just attention to that detail, like to
Maybe.
get that sort of lifelike detail in the jig.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know what do people look for a squid jig? Like I've been told
The best one I've
there's
ever
shadows in sort of your darker
had.
colours.
The best one I've ever had was gold.
Yeah, gold is what generally for highlight because it
Gold,
glints.
and it was quite well weighted, so it would go down and it would skim just above the reed. So the squid would come out of the reed.
Yeah,
Well, not the fucking reed, the seagrass or whatever the fuck they live in, down onto the seabed.
Seaweed.
the forest.
Seaweed, yes.
Yeah.
Seagrass. It's,
Yeah.
it's seagrass until it dies and fucking comes on the land, and it's seaweed. I feel like it's seagrass when it's alive on the bottom of the bottom of the
I
ocean.
think I've heard something
Who
similar
gives a
like that,
shit?
but we're going to move on.
What do dugongs eat? Seagrass.
Dugongs.
Anyway, semantics. The best squid jig I ever had was gold, and it was quite weighted, and it would skim. It would sit like a meter off when you reel it in.
That'll all,
Somehow,
that'll all just depend on your speed to reel.
yeah. But if you buy a cheap shitty one and you watch people cast them out, and they're just fucking skimming along the surface, no squid's going to come along and take that.
No,
See,
So you want it to go down.
in the right depth.
that's where, like, I started to put a split shot, like, on my leader
Same.
to weight it down.
But
So
it'll
it
all
just,
also depend on the depth you're fishing at too. Like
Well, you
there's
want it-
to be times where no split shot.
Well, if you
will
don't
work
have the
well.
weight on there, then it's going to be
Yeah,
too high.
so-
Yeah, what if
just
it's like
like-
it's only it's quite shallow water, and that's
squid.
probably a perfect one.
No squid.
No squid.
Nope.
I wouldn't rule them out 100%. but-
I think
I'm not
we
as
were in like
successful for squid.
1.6 where we were catching most of our squid. Like, it wasn't deep, and online it does say they like deeper water, but most of the squid that I've caught, I reckon, yeah, probably like 1.6 meters
Yeah.
at best. Not really, maybe 2 meters.
When you get your boat, I want to go fishing.
Well, it should
It's December. You said
Should be
late.
here.
You said late November.
25th to the 5th. It'll be 25th. Yeah, the 5th.
So like Monday.
So next week.
Monday?
A couple of days after. No, in fact,
Yeah, Monday.
by the time this episode airs, you should have a boat.
should do.
Fuck yeah.
No idea where I'm going to store it.
So is that last episode we're going fishing?
Keep it in my shed.
Do we do the podcast on the boat?
Oh, we'd have to check with Camp Mum.
Is water good for the mind?
Yeah.
Salt is bad for the mics.
Oh,
Water is also very bad.
You sure?
I have spilled a beer on the sound desk before.
yeah.
Chuck the mics in a condom.
Trust the fact that chuck the mics in a condom. How are you going to hear
Keep
anything?
it waterproof. You better hear it.
Just stab it with some
You're not
holes.
going to hear anything. Oh, yeah, sure, no worries.
Oh, you almost wore that.
Dead set. I would love to go mobile one day, but look,
Yeah,
out
in
in
a
the
van.
boat, the wind is, it's not
Yeah,
going to
no,
be
it'd
conducive.
be shit.
It's going to
I
be
was just-
terrible.
I would like to take the show on the road in a van.
Yeah, that'd be
In a
cool.
van.
A comfy
van.
van.
There's some good podcasting
Merc
setups. in
Sprinter.
there.
Tall roof.
Might steal yours.
Is that the little truck?
The Merc Sprinter's a van.
Oh yeah, they're not the other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Tall roof.
mates on me used to have one.
I was going to buy one, but instead went to the 79. We could put it in the 79. We could dampen the 79.
It wouldn't be mobile.
By
It would
turning
just
it
be
off.
broken down somewhere for a long time.
Wouldn't want to go off road.
Why not?
Fucking lose it.
Love the 79 Jakes.
Get used to it. You haven't even got the fucking
You're
thing
about to
yet.
buy one. Wait till it fucking breaks down.
How long have you been waiting for it?
Yeah, look, I'll be pissed if that's the case. But
It's that slow. You're still waiting. It's been 18 months.
Yeah, it's almost been 12 actually. Oh, actually, I think it has been 12. You know what we should do? We should most definitely go on the road, just see if we can hire out a room in a pub, do a podcast, and just be like, come down, have a chat on the potty. Not live, but because we haven't worked out live yet. But yeah, just do it that way.
We could do.
We could do something. Like that.
It'd be interesting.
It would.
We'd come across some characters just interviewing randoms at pubs.
We would. Any hunters that are in.
Do like a speed round. Just interview like 10 cunts at a pub.
10 guns.
Not at the same time. Not at the same time.
We
But like
should go-
10
No.
minutes with you, 10 minutes with him.
When we do podcasts on the road, we should be like 10 cunts, 10 questions.
Yes.
10 minutes. 10 cunts, 10 questions, 10 minutes.
That's a good one. I like
It
it.
is. I like it.
Let's do that now.
That's 100 minutes. That's an hour and 40. Beautiful.
That's a new segment for next year.
10 cunts, 10 questions, 10 minutes.
Next year's going to be busy though because we'll be hunting and fishing.
I don't fucking hunt enough.
No.
No one does.
The amount of fucking head noise it creates just because I don't want to do anything else but hunt is a fucking annoying thing. It's a bad problem to
It's
have.
a good thing. Hopefully it consumes you to the point where you just like fucking quit. Just
Do or
head
die.
bush.
Do or die, man.
I would love to see what would happen if I just said, fuck everything, fuck my relationship, fuck work, fuck my kids.
disappear.
I'm just going to
Hang
disappear.
on, can we use different vernacular,
I'm just
please?
gonna
In those two.
I'm just going to disappear and hunt.
It'd be interesting.
Would anyone miss you?
You asking that question states that you won't miss him. Or you won't miss him because you'll be with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I'll rephrase that. Does anyone that matters will they miss you? Oh shit! Have you ever thought about just saying, "Woman, get in the car with all your shit that you need for the next 3 months"? Well, I can't. Get in the car. That's all you do. Just get in the car. Oh, I don't have my shit. Get in the car.
You live in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
You live in a fantasy land.
Try that.
You come from an alternate universe where
Are you-
people
are you
say
sure?
candle instead of spotlight.
That's not possible.
It's possible to say it.
Do you know when it's possible? When I fucking get the right numbers on Powerball, and then I'll be saying, "Woman, get in the car, we're going." And then she'll be like, "Hey, you're funding this? Just fucking one
You're
Powerball.
going to buy a different ute?
Man,
Let's go."
when you're on your travels, when you're just going past like the fruit areas, just fucking nick a whole bunch of fruit, run off the side of the road, grab a whole bunch, stock your car up with fruit, hunt, fish. Don't like eating fish. Hunt, don't fish.
I'm not funding.
hunt
I'm
and
not
eat-
funding my trip around Australia with theft and poaching. Thank you.
No, hunt on Crown land with your permit,
Yeah,
and then just
and then
what,
thieve from all the
just a couple of.
You like,
couple of
you
mangoes.
steal 3 apples, you chuck a 5 on the branch.
I used to do that in Darwin, mangoes. You just hop the fence, grab a few mangoes, hop back.
Oh, if
you
you
dirty
got...
bastard. That's why mangoes cost so much.
I don't think that's the case. But if you lived across the road from a fucking orchard, you definitely would.
Still
Yeah.
theft.
Oh, you nick your neighbour's damn fucking lemons all the time, mate.
Oh,
That's
You
that's
do.
a
So
bold
it's
accusation.
exactly the same
Neither
thing.
of my neighbours have lemons. I have a lime tree.
It's exactly the same thing as nicking your neighbour's lemons. Just hop the fence, grab a couple, jump back, be like,
you're not going to hop the fence in your neighbour's
Who's
backyard.
fucking hopping fences for lemons? I'm not hard up for lemons.
No,
bro.
for
What the
mangoes.
fuck?
Oh, now
man.
see the
Fresh
goalposts.
mangoes.
See
Yeah,
again,
no,
the
they do.
goalposts have
Fresh
shifted.
mangoes.
We've gone from lemons
They
to
shrink,
mangoes.
they expand, they move.
Fresh mangoes, man. Oh, damn. It's something I'll miss.
Used to be fucking one of the neighbours down the road from me. Their lemon tree grew up and over the fence. So they'll just hang over the
If
path.
it's on your side,
And
fucking
no,
fill your
this is
boots.
it's on the path. But
If it's
Laura
on
would
public
walk-
land, fill your boots.
Mrs. would walk down just to get some lemons off that tree. It was
Yeah.
like 500 metres away.
That's fine.
If it's hanging, if it's not on their property, fill your boots.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple metres in from the fence, just be like, yeah, pin of $5.
If you can
note on
reach
there.
it by leaning over the fence, good to go.
Okay.
If one toe is on the outside of public land,
Keep your fruit trees out of reach.
keep anything out of reach.
Head down to Beerenberg, hop the fence, and go strawberry picking.
Yeah.
You walk out with a bucket. All you need to do is pretend like you're supposed to be there.
Yeah,
You'll
chuck
get
a,
away with
if
it,
you chuck a
mate.
high vis shirt on
Yep.
and you walk around with a notepad,
Yep.
you're done.
The amount you can get away with just by like fucking being confident, being bold, and acting like you belong there.
you're just like, oi, Trevor, go get the tractor. you fucking all the
You're just in the middle of a paddock bite with no one else around and you're yelling to yourself. Have you guys seen the, I think it's Instagram Reels or whatever, and these two kids, they only look about 21, 22, and they're like, they just wanted to see how far they can get by carrying a ladder.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And then they just walked into the cinemas, like, yeah, you just got to come fix the lights. Just walk straight through into the cinemas, sat
Yeah.
down, watch a movie with a ladder.
Yeah.
high vis and a ladder, you'll get most
Yeah.
places.
There you go. So you've just sorted your fruit and veg out. Just carry a ladder on top of your fucking car and a high vis shirt in the back seat.
We need to do this.
So then just, hunt your meat. You could get into eating fish because it's probably going to be more sustainable in fucking Queensland, catching fish. So there
Fruit's
you go.
pretty sustainable.
Just every now and then drop into a farm, do a bit of work for some fuel. That pays for the next town.
Why don't you just take more fruit and sell that fruit?
You laugh, but people have done this and people are doing it.
I know people are doing that. Would you say they're thriving? They're
Yeah,
probably
but
having fun. Are they
Probably
thriving?
well, mate. They probably wake up with fucking no stress, man. They're
Totally.
not worried about this client's got a door or a house has got 50 holes in it and I've got to fucking fix the roof and this and that. Oh, I've got to be polite to this person because I have to be. I've got to wake up at fucking sparrows fart. They're probably loving it, man.
Society's thriving, right? Would you class this as a thriving sort of situation?
You're pretty much. It's like the monetary system is the best form of slavery. You know that.
I feel like
Well, think
the
about
fact
it.
we are now
You
are
have
less
to
happy
work.
than we used to be.
You have to house yourself, clothe yourself, feed yourself,
Close myself.
clothe yourself,
Close
feed
too,
yourself,
depending on
right,
situation.
and fucking slave away working to do it.
I'm closing myself if he gets his gay ear pierced. I'll tell you that much.
So,
You know which one it is when he gets his
are
ear
you
pierced.
happy?
Bro, this is what I struggle with on a daily basis. I hate the fact we have to work to afford to do the things we like doing. It
But
should
don't
be the
have the
other way
time.
around.
Don't have the time to do what you love
And
to do.
yeah, that stops you having the time to do what you want to do as well.
By the time that you've got the money to do it, you're fucking 60 and can barely get out of a car.
The whole system of our existence is bullshit.
Yeah. I reckon you should only start working when you're 55 years old.
That would go down well. All the baby boomers out there are loving that.
Yeah, that comes in, but they have to work the rest of their life. They're like, fuck, we did the first half.
No, it's definitely messed up. But look, you can do it, man. I find that, and I know I harp on about this a lot, but you put the bounds up yourself. You put all your boundaries up, and your left and right of arc that you're working in. It's all from yourself. There is a way around it. There is. I mean, you're halfway there. You got your guns, you got your car, so you've got a mode of transport, and you've got a way to get food.
Let's not go down this rabbit hole because I've got a counter argument to fucking anything you say. And it's not because lack of wanting to do it, but there's a fucking reality that I'm firmly grounded in.
Take your kids with you. 3 months on, 3 months off.
Anyway, this is old ground we're covering again.
I think it's time for the topic.
I think so.
I think it's time to move on.
Oh, look, I'm just spitballing.
Moving on.
No,
I'm
let's
just
move
saying,
on.
man.
Move on.
I'm just
Move
saying.
on.
Moving on.
Moving on to
just
this
saying.
week's topic, which is, for whatever reason, because we decided,
It's random.
make America great again.
No, we decided that you have this topic because Chris sent us some goodies.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it did in a roundabout way. It is.
Is that something that Chris is behind?
Making America great.
No, I guess, yeah, well, that's part of
I'm
it.
pretty sure he is. He's running around with AR-15s and 1911s. I'm pretty sure he's running around with a stiff dick every
He's
day.
Australian,
Is he
but-
behind making America great again, or is he just behind America is great?
Both.
Yeah.
It's better than what we have here, and he's been here. So, yeah, he probably thinks it's great.
He is a MAGA. That's what.
MAGA.
That's what the cool people call "Make America Great Again." They call it MAGA.
Well,
Anyway,
I think it's Josh's.
Josh,
first up.
you're first up on this MAGA breakdown.
I am.
Not mega,
Mega.
MAGA breakdown. I feel like that's how people in Victoria would say mega because it's an E and they say E's A. They would call it MAGA.
It'd be like M.A.G.A.
Give me a sec.
I'm in my element. It's a mega breakdown. No, we're in our element, and it's a mega breakdown.
You just be quiet. You could chop all this out.
Pretty much. I don't know. I might keep it.
Stop talking.
I'm padding. Josh is fucking Googling.
Yeah. What are you doing, man?
I've just got to find it. Righto. So, bring this back to hunting. I first sort of just Googled, actually, what's the best rifles to come out of America? This led down a different path, which really has nothing to do with making America great.
How did you get to that point?
Well, okay, so I went to
Tripped
I went
and
to
fell
the
down another path.
NRA American Hunter website, and I was Googling which is the best rifles to come out of America, which surprised me, to be perfectly honest, because the top 5 was a Winchester Model 70. Now, when I think like a Winchester Model 70 or anything like that, I think patriotism, I think that's how the Winchester was so popular. Probably the price as well. And the second one was the Remington Model 700, which I'm a big advocate for because of the aftermarket support, which I've just started to realise this year, and I'm changing all my platforms to the 700. So, if I want to change my bottom metal, whatever on it, I can, and I'll have enough support there for the rest of my life to be able to just, if something breaks, buy it and fix it.
Hang on, back up. You're changing everything to Rem 700.
Yeah. So I just spoke to Ash at APRS, and I've ordered 2 Manners stocks. I'm basically giving the Seiko to my dad for his AI that I bought him years and years ago. I'm going to strip the AI down to the 700 action because it's 308.
Is this so he can finally have a light hunting rifle?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, he was pretty keen on it. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. He does. I didn't tell him that he ain't getting the scope with it. So, but
Are you getting the scope? Oh, has the AI got a scope on it?
no, we sold the beast that was on it, the ATAC on it. So anyway, I'll put the 700 action for a new 308. I'm going to get another 700 action because they're reasonably cheap, and about $900 the last time I looked on Cleavers, and build this 6BR. And then I'll pretty much just only have 700 platforms in my centerfires. So, yeah.
You know why Ash takes so long to build your guns? He knows you're going to change your mind.
We doesn't take that long. The last gun he built was 3.5 weeks.
Okay.
So, hey.
No, he builds them very quickly so he can change his mind and build another one. And then he's got a high volume of
true.
guns. No, say he's a good bloke. And the guys at APRS are absolutely doing an amazing job. And they're turning around at the moment. I was probably stretching it out coming into Christmas because people are probably buying a little bit more. But typically if you get after sort of like February, March, he'll get it done reasonably quick. Anyway, scrolling down the list, it was the next one was a Winchester Model 1894. And then one that we all know and we would all love to own, and that's a Ruger 1022. It's a little semi-automatic 1022. And then after that was a savage piece of shit.
Savage.
Anyway, as I was scrolling down, this internet site came up with weird American laws. Just period. Just some weird, funny, sort of strange American laws. And we have a couple here in Australia.
Like the laws that just haven't been changed in ages.
Yeah. So we have a squatter law here in Australia. So if you're squatting on someone's property and you can prove that you've been there for 14 consecutive days, legally they can't kick you out.
14 days.
14 days, that's it. Yeah. And it's called the squatter's law.
Yeah.
Right?
But if you leave to go somewhere, is that you leaving and they can cut you off?
Yes, yeah, I think so.
So you can't actually have a life. You have to stay on the property
for 14 consecutive days.
What about after that 14? You can't leave for an event?
No, you can leave and you have rite of passage pretty much to live there. That was the last time I Googled this, which was a while ago. We also had another strange law that I Googled, and it was about hangings. So if you survived being hung 3 times, in Australian law it was considered God's will that you had served your punishment and you were let go.
It wasn't just Australia.
There was one person that did that in Australia.
Yeah.
One person that was hung because there's a set amount of time. So they hang you, you're there for X amount of time and they pull you down. Oh, he's still alive. And they did that 3 times and the guy lived. And
the guy's neck must have been staunch.
Yeah, no neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's just around his
all
fucking
traps. Yeah. So kind of weird. But there's some strange laws, which some of them you sort of are pretty logical, like the first one. So in Alabama, it's illegal to drive blindfolded.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll give him that.
You know, but
Makes sense.
when I was thinking about this, right? So one of these magicians, I can't remember his name, skinny fella. He had a show for a while, and he did that. I think in California. I think he blindfolded himself behind the wheel and got a passenger in to guide him as he was driving, but guide him through thought. That was his trick. There was no word spoken. It was just thought. Like she thought,
How
stop,
well did that go?
like brake. He broke, et cetera, et cetera.
Wow. Sounds like Google's autonomous vehicle testing.
Yeah.
Was it Chris Angel?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That might have been it. Real skinny fella.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch much of that. Chris Angel, mind freak. He had I think
might
he had
have
like long hair-ish.
Nah,
good.
Nah, this guy had short hair.
I don't know.
But no, I think Chris had stages where he did have short hair.
Oh, did he? His very last act on his series, he was in a shop, dressed in clothes, and then just vanished, and the clothes just dropped to the ground, and it could have been trickery of the camera, obviously, but
It was trickery, definitely.
yeah, 100%. It's
Magic's not real?
illusion. Do you like magic?
It's entertaining.
I kind of like it.
I
do.
kind
It's
of
good
I like learning how they do.
It's good entertainment for sure.
Like Keel and Peele or whatever. Then what is it? Not Keel and Peele.
Key and Peele.
No, the two magicians in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Key and Peele are the comedians.
Yeah, not
You're thinking of Penn and Teller.
Penn and
Yeah,
Teller. That's
that's
it. Penn and Teller. They do an awesome show, actually. Like where they just pretty much get like random magicians in, and they do an act, and then they've got to try and work out whether they were tricked or not.
Fool
Yeah,
us,
they gotta- if
fool
they-
us or something like that.
Yeah, if they can
you got to try and
work out how they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Anyway, the next one is in Alaska. You can't put an animal in the back seat of an open vehicle. Fuck knows why.
You can't.
I like
No. You can't.
I saw a Great
Like a
Dane in the back of a
convertible.
Jeep the other day. That would just be out.
Yeah,
You're
legal.
talking like a convertible or a Jeep.
Well, the photo is a convertible, and the dog's actually
Because that's the only thing
I mean, the photos of a fucking Labrador driving the car,
Yeah.
like, it's not.
it's been done.
Wait for the next one. In Arizona, it's illegal for a donkey to sleep in a bathtub.
What?
Bro, I don't know.
Because sure- some
Why are you
weird
putting a donkey?
I'm sure there's a
in
reason behind that.
There's a reason where some weird cunt did it one time, I'm sure, and then they said, "Well, we've got to make a law against it."
This is true. And look, they do have a spiel on this site about, I guess, some,
Tell me, I want to know why it is illegal for a donkey to sleep in a bath.
Okay.
Tell me why.
So in the 1920s, a local dam broke, flooding a rancher's home. The rancher's donkey had become accustomed to sleeping in a bathtub which filled with water and whisked him miles away. After working to rescue the animal, the town passed a law that prohibited donkeys from sleeping in
Oh, so this
bathtubs.
donkey slept in a bathtub and got swept away with the flood?
So just because of an isolated incident where it was a kind of a thing
That's
to
how
fucking
laws start,
rescue.
man.
Oh, Jesus. That's ridiculous. All right, what's the next one?
So in Arkansas, you can't honk your horn near a sandwich shop after 9.
What?
Yeah. Fuck knows.
But you can do it at 8:50?
So a hungry fool, so this is the blurb after it. A hungry fool may be to blame for this law, but hey, most of the sandwich shops are closed in the sleepy state of Arkansas by 9 anyway. So if you feel the urge to honk after the hours, yeah, you'll be disturbing the peace. Sorry.
Well, it's better than Australian law about honking. It's actually illegal to use your horn when it's not justified.
Yeah, you can't just be
You can't just honk at a pedestrian that's fucking just pissed you, or the car next to you that's pissed you off.
Well, that would be justified because he pissed you off.
No,
No,
not
it's
road
only,
rage.
You're only,
If someone was merging across into you, honk the horn then.
technically, you're only supposed to warn of danger. That's the only reason you have a
Or
horn.
if someone's about to walk in front of you, you can use a
Yeah,
horn.
that makes sense.
Not because
Someone's going
cut you
slow
off.
or something like that.
Well, that makes perfect sense. But if I want a sandwich at 9, I'm honking my horn.
Is that like a doorbell for them? They're like a drive-through. You got to honk the horn on the entry,
No,
and they make you a sandwich.
Don't think so.
Random.
So in California, it's illegal to whistle for a lost canary before 7 a.m.
Is that like a cancel noise pollution thing?
Righto.
We're not entirely sure how this bizarre law came about, but according to California.com, the city of Berkeley, California, prohibits anyone from whistling for their lost canary before the wee hours of 7 a.m. It's strange.
How can anyone
Sort of
prove you're
weird.
whistling for your canary? What if you just fucking
What are you
walk in
whistling?
the street and just
Well,
whistling?
You whistling
Surely
for your
you're
dog.
mimicking their whistle. How,
I-
what does a canary, how does a canary whistle?
Depends on how you raise it.
Couldn't tell you.
Like, if I could wolf
Comes
whistle,
back
I'd
with
do
a
that.
bone. Anyway, the next one. In Colorado, it's illegal to keep a couch on your porch.
What?
Yeah.
Like, and that's pictures like a rocking chair, or this chair, not a couch. But
So you wouldn't be allowed on the porch, huh?
nice one.
Back door only.
In Connecticut, a pickle must be able to bounce. So you're not allowed to sell a pickle if it doesn't bounce.
Yeah,
That's how you tell it.
That's just
right.
read between the lines there. No mushy pickles.
Yeah.
Is that a sloth?
In Delaware, you can't sell dog hair. The state
Okay,
resident of
okay.
Delaware are barred from selling the hair of a dog or cat. Wonder how much residents used to be able to cash in for their fucking.
I wonder why
leftovers.
that's an issue. I wonder why selling hairs or
Is
dog
there
hair.
a market for dog hair?
Well, when you
would
think
have-
about it, some brushes are made with hair, like your horse hair or even human hair. Paintbrushes, I'm talking about. So, you know,
Oh, any sort of brush,
You'd
really.
be a millionaire if you sold your dog's hair.
I can literally make a dog a day out of it.
Maybe you should see if it's illegal in Australia.
Maybe,
There might be a market for it.
maybe you could fund a lot of things with your dog's hair.
Okay, in Florida, it's illegal. Legal parking fees towards animals must be paid. The blurb says, sounds like Jumanji was real once upon a time in Florida because legal fees have to be paid for animal parking, including elephants, camels, horses. According to their country living, this law took effect in the 1920s when the ringleader Bros Circus moved in. Strange, but okay. I can understand that if you're tying up your horse.
Horses,
Yeah.
it makes you can sort of relate to that making sense. Elephants and
The Ringling Brothers. It's a very famous circus. So if they just decided to tie up their fucking elephant on the side of this road, that would have been an issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wouldn't you just put it in your circus tent? Why are we riding your elephant into town to get some butter?
well, if you had an
Why not?
If you had an elephant, would you?
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
yes, I would.
Oh yeah.
All right, so in Georgia, it's illegal to live on a boat for more than 30 days. So there goes our camping trip.
We're not doing
We're
a
not going to
30-day boat
Georgia.
trip.
Yeah,
And there.
but
We're not doing 30 days either.
that's one of them. In Hawaii, it's illegal to place a coin in one's ear.
Is that a slavery thing?
Magic shows must be boring in the Rainbow State. Apparently, this strange law was enacted to protect the Kingdom of Hawaii coinage when Hawaii officially joined with the US in the 1900s.
Protected from what? Earwax?
I don't know.
Were they losing coins?
I don't know, man. That's all. It was
Is that
on
where the
there.
term "you're senseless" comes to?
I think there's better ways to smuggle coins. Like up your door.
Like fucking in your
Shaft it.
Up your door. Shelve it.
keister it, the old prison wallet.
Prison wallet.
You're trying hard to find another name, mate.
No, I was trying to think of prison wallet. I was going to be like jailhouse wallet.
Keister
That's
it.
not the right word. Keister it.
Jail pouch.
Keister. Have you ever keisted anything?
Yes.
You have. What?
A seasickness tablet.
Oh, okay, that makes, yeah, just
Oh,
fine.
yeah, I think
We wanted something juicy
I used to put his methamphetamines up there as well.
while they were sleeping.
Only thing I've ever shoved up my ass is a seasickness tablet, which was, I called it a bum bullet. You know those licorice bullets you get? It was roughly that size, but it was like, it looked more like string cheese. So it was a
Sure, it
suppository.
wasn't a tampon.
So it's soft and mold.
So it was soft and
Did it feel like
lubricated. It was like it's suppository. Is that the word? Suppository?
suppository.
Yeah. It's a very strong seasickness tablet. which
I've
I
heard
got
it,
off
yeah.
my ex-mother-in-law because it worked for her and I was still seasick on this fucking cruise. So I'm like, the quells aren't working. Give me one of those things, and it worked.
Wait a second. You get seasick?
In like, not just fucking around locally, like on extended
On a ship.
bullshit. I went on a cruise and there was a hurricane. So it was very rough waters and they didn't put the stabilizers on.
Yeah, it sucks up
Okay.
too much fuel.
I've cruised around on a boat. I've not been seasick.
Okay, thank God, because don't get any of your chunder on my boat.
Yeah, we'd have to stay in the river.
I mean, I went a fishing charter with you. I was seasick, but that was
Yeah, you were.
the swell was as high as a fucking boat.
It was high.
So how many opportunities have you had to be seasick that you haven't been seasick?
Plenty.
That charter, man, like you were looking at sky and then suddenly just water.
That
that wasn't
charter,
Like
we,
nothing else.
That wasn't our
that charter,
we
we
went on.
almost didn't go out.
No, you
And
didn't.
we had to
You
cut
weren't
it
there on that
several
charter.
hours short.
Well, I remember saying to him, because he was like, oh, it's going to be pretty bad out there. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. We're all good.
Typical. Then you wouldn't have asked anyone.
No one else, like I didn't tell anyone else that he warned us. I was like, no, we're just doing it.
Yeah, you're like, if I tell you something, we're going to get cancelled.
That was the most seasick I've ever been, put it that way.
Oh, that was horrendous, man. That was. I think three of you were seasick.
I still fished, but I spewed up over the side a lot. Your old man just sat with his head between his knees the entire time.
Yeah, and Carl chunted.
You know, I've been
I think so.
it took me about 5 goes to be out in a boat to work out that I wasn't getting seasick. I just, every time beforehand, I'd somehow have a night out in the piss. And then the next morning you wake up, get out in the boat and do all right when I'm actually fishing. But as soon as it stops, I'll just chunder.
So that's why you just got to drink on the boat. Save it for drinking on the boat.
Yeah, but then, like it took me the 5th go, I think, to work out that I don't actually get seasick. I just should stop drinking the night before.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You did your dive course pissed, didn't you?
Yeah. That 3 days dive course, I was pissed every morning.
Anyway, in Idaho, it's illegal to sweep debris into the streets, which is, I
fair
guess,
enough.
fair enough. In Illinois, it's illegal for underage culinary students to drink alcohol. But in 2012, the state passed a law nicknamed Sip and Spit, which allows culinary students under the age of 21 to legally taste piss.
I thought the proper way of doing that was to spit.
It's never okay to spit, bro. Should always swallow.
Do you live by that motto? Do
It's
you?
either it's a swallow or dribble.
I'm going to fucking spit on you in a minute. Fucking hurry up with his list.
Anyway, in Indiana,
keep going.
Indiana, it's illegal to ride a horse above 10 miles an hour.
Fuck, you got a good horse if it's
Speeding.
So,
10 miles an hour is not that fast.
no, it's not. I feel like a horse could get to 10 miles an hour.
miles.
16 Ks an hour, bro.
Yeah, I feel
I think
like
it'll feel a lot quicker when you're on a horse.
if you wouldn't, if
But
the horse couldn't do
I have
that,
no idea how. I don't know.
I feel like
When we
full
cruise along
gallop.
spotlighting, it's normally 20 Ks an hour.
No
That's
way.
slow. No, slow spotlighting is 20 Ks an hour.
No way, not 20.
Yeah, it is.
We're like at 5. We'll crawl.
Nope.
No, it's because you're in the car with Peter and you're looking at the revs.
No,
not
we'll
the
crawl.
Because
20
I've
Ks,
made a
2000.
note of that speed.
Yeah.
20 Ks, yeah.
I'll make a note of the gear
I'm going to
and
check
idle.
that. I am.
I'll just
Because
sit,
I don't think it's that quick.
It is.
I think third gear, just in letting it idle. If it's on flat, that's a good speed.
Nah. Full when I'm on full low, second gear and foot's off the accelerator.
It's easy to drive without the accelerator too. You just chill.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to hold it. You're not
I
bouncing.
don't- that's
back
the
and
only
forth.
reason why I put it in full low in second gear, so I don't have to put my foot on the accelerator. Because you get that jerky, like on the tray, you'll get that jerky movement. So if you go over a bump and your foot just suddenly touches the accelerator,
Yeah, yeah,
you're not
you
in full
start
drive, you're like,
Hopping.
yeah. Terrible.
That's why everyone struggles to shoot when you're driving, man.
Anyway,
Oh, dear.
in Kansas, tire screeching is banned. Yep, that's fair enough. In Kentucky, a woman can't marry the same man 4 times.
4 times.
Yeah.
What
I
man
feel like
to marry
after
the same chick
after
4
the
times?
first time, you should have learnt your lesson. I really do.
She just wants a ring.
Fair. How many times has that law had to come in? Like, how many times that had to be enforced?
Well, no idea, man. No idea. Anyway, in Louisiana, it's illegal to send a surprise pizza. Yep. It's illegal to send a surprise pizza.
Yeah, probably because it's going to rock up on someone's doorstep, and then they're going to be like,
Yeah, where's
Pay
my
me.
money?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like that's negated now with like DoorDash and Uber Eats, and because you pay before.
probably not when that law was written.
That's very true. So in Maine, it's illegal to park out the front of a Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know. In Maryland, sleeveless shirts are banned in public.
What?
You're fucked.
Yes, well, you're fucked.
You have to read the blurb of that one.
Okay. You definitely won't be liking this one if you're a fan of muscle tees. In Baltimore, it's technically considered a park rule violation to be in a public place with sleeveless shirts. Yes, even if you're out for a run. That sucks.
That's fucked.
That's stupid. In Massachusetts, it's illegal to tell fortunes without certification.
I swear every one of these states you've got wrong for the first attempt.
No, I was doing it right up until 3 ago, but you can play it back. That's all right. Anyway, I'll finish on this one because you're all fucking over it. Michigan, it's illegal to sell your vehicle on a Sunday, and that's fair because that's like Sabbath. So if you look at the Jewish community, the Sabbath was – I don't think the Sabbath is actually a Sunday, but in history, but I think the Sabbath now is depicted on a Sunday, which is God's day. So I think I can understand how
It's
that
just
law,
a day of rest, bro.
yeah, which is basically from biblical times. You know, you had a day of rest.
Whatever the designated day of rest is, you can't fucking sell a car. Is all that's saying.
Yeah.
In Minnesota, dirty tires are banned. Actually, you can't hunt.
We're really aggressive there.
You're on a different fucking wavelength right now.
You can't hunt with a muzzle loader on a Sunday in one of the states in the city, in the city in the US. You can't. Yeah, it's illegal to hunt
Pretty sure
on a
muzzle
Sunday.
loaders are
What'd you
legal
call me?
across the city.
No, like in one of the states in the US.
I think
illegal.
I've heard that. I think meat eaters went across that as well.
On a Sunday.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, I'll finish there because that's my spiel.
Fair enough.
So, some strange laws that America has, but America is pretty much what we should all aspire to be like, in my opinion.
Do you know what, though? This is a good segue into my topic
Go for
because
I knew it. It's that subliminal messaging. I fucking picked up what you were putting down.
really.
Yeah. No. Go on.
No, well, it does actually work well because I've gone, well, why are we making America great again? Why do we care about America? Because, and I'm just thinking of you because you're fucking in love with the US of A. You love them
You can't just say
for
the
multiple
US,
reasons.
But yeah.
Has it been since Chris?
Nah, man.
Has that just ignited your love for America?
I'd thought about moving to Texas.
Like, not that I hate America.
Like pretty much as I was leaving the army, I've thought about it.
I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's not my question. My question is not why you love America so much. Where I want to go with this is fuck making America great again. How are we going to make Australia great again?
Oh,
what do we need to do?
Nestle in, motherfuckers, because you're here for a long podcast.
No.
That was
No, just
that was my one as well.
something quick. What? Just
There's
give
no
me
quick solution to making Australia great.
give me something that will make Australia great. One thing, for example, that I think would make Australia better is bringing back corporal punishment.
Why wouldn't you say bringing back the industry? Like
My
our industries?
one would be manufacturing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
Fucking
But
hell.
anyway.
there you go. But I think corporal punishment because I think people fucking need to learn some respect, and I think they need to be able to get some consequences for and accountability for what.
You know what I think?
What are you meaning about corporal punishment? Sorry, Sean.
So people should be like, we all grew up. I think we're probably about the last generation who fucking got belted when they did something wrong by their parents.
Well, the last acceptable generation to get belted.
Yeah, not many people get smacked or
There's-
corporal punishment or a physical.
There's
getting
no
smacked.
better teacher than pain.
There isn't. It's instant. It's so effective, right? So you do something wrong, if you know what the consequences is, and your parents do it in the right way, they don't just fucking deck you, but they go, all right, well, you know what you've done wrong. This is the consequence. You get a smack. You get a bit of pain. You go, fuck, I won't do that again. and you move on. It's dealt with.
Aren't you allowed to smack your kids on the bum still?
No.
No
You're not.
way, man.
Nope.
Not at all.
If the kid's smart enough, he'll do.
Because
For
there was a time where you were allowed above the knee and below the waist to smack
That was
them on
probably
the
like the 60s.
No, that was like 2000.
That was the
Twice.
high, that was the high bruises, man.
Try smacking a kid these days.
Well, you could do it.
You could do it, but as soon as someone has a problem with it, you're in trouble because it's abuse, supposedly.
And that's why kids are fucked.
But I think it would teach so much respect, and I think it didn't, put it this way, it did us no harm. Really?
No, but we weren't abused. But
Well, I don't if it's done
we
correctly.
we weren't like bashed to the point where we're on the floor fucking, in a pile of blood.
I was sitting that
Then
like,
it is abuse.
I
But if
was
it's
sitting there
done
thinking
properly.
about our parents' era. They would sort of like have a chuckle about our era because they would have got so much worse with the sort of beatings and the cane at school, shit like that. Well, we never had that. It was more probably
was still
back when it
cane.
was still chalkboards.
still
It was
cane
a
at
duster.
school.
Yeah, I still had a cane.
Still cane at school for
Oh,
us.
I didn't know it was cane.
Yeah.
I think that might be a private school. I think in like Christian private schools,
you
cane was still a thing.
You're saying, we weren't rich enough to go
no,
to
I'm just
private
saying
school?
in Christian private schools,
that what you're saying?
the cane was still a thing when we were in school.
Saying I'm not Christian?
It was.
What if I identify as a Christian?
Did you go to a private school?
No.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we definitely had the cane. And it was actually done in front of the class by the principal, and it was like a display of shame. It was a quite a big thing. But look, man,
It took
the
a lot.
kids were all in line.
It took a lot of escalation to get to getting the cane.
Bit of last resort.
Yeah, a last resort.
definitely. Yeah.
And then
Would that be before you get sent to the principal?
Well, it was on the severity of what occurred.
there's
So-
pretty much the last resort before suspension, I think.
Yeah.
Well, certainly was where I went to school.
So I had a dude in my class slap a female. Well, we were real young actually, and that was just immediate. In front of the class, the teacher called in the principal, and pants down in front of the class.
You have
Cane.
like your executioner of the school, and he's just the cane guy.
Well, I think that's how they got around with the laws of doing it. Was one person had the responsibility of doing it, so it wasn't just up to what
Anyone
the
had a power
teacher's
trip, yeah.
interpretation,
Yeah.
sort of, on that side of things. Having said that, so when you're talking about this punishment, so some things have happened in history. So trauma is passed down through generations, right? So when these world wars and things started happening and major wars started happening, guys would come back home and they'd have, back then, shell shock, whatever it was called.
Here you go.
Shannon's just learning to drink beer.
Yeah.
To be fair, he is actually just learning to drink beer.
But anyway, so they came home. So these guys that came home, they had a lot of problems, I guess, as you do from coming back from a war. And in it, their tolerances for certain things may have been, slightly shortened. And that rolled over to kids. So obviously, kid does something wrong. Well, that's it. I'll just hurt him immediately or smack his bum immediately. And, that's your punishment. But that, unfortunately, because of the environment that father has been serving in. Now, this is not all people, but it is. There are some studies about this. They might have gone overboard. It might have switched that flip that switch in their head.
You're switching.
And
There is a line,
and they've crossed over
Into abuse.
But if that happens and occurs at a certain age for a long period of time over the child's life, right, when they're older, they go two ways from these studies. Either they go completely the opposite way from their father and no discipline, or they carry that abuse on. Now, when I say this, I'm not saying in every case and not everybody's the same. That's what makes us unique. But there is a trend that this is what happens. So abuse filters down in the generations. So suddenly you're getting kids that were bashed the shit out of, and this abuse stems from other abuse as well, not related to going to war, but if someone was abused physically, say sexually, then the chances are that child
abuse, yeah.
may be an abuser himself. Now, once again, this is not in all cases, and I'm
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to just
Generalise.
defend this. I'm generalising, but it carries on, and in some cases, it snowballs. It gets worse and worse, and you've got to think about that happening with our technology growing. So we've got a baseline of abuse, and then suddenly we've got TV that's sexualised and perversed, and that's stemming through the generations. So the abuse is getting worse. So curbing that abuse is we need to do it, and we need to obviously police what you're saying, punishing a child. We need to police that somehow, because there is a point where it is fucking too far.
Well, there is,
Way too
and I
far.
don't think the answer is to blanket stop all smacking or all corporal punishment, which I think is what's happened. They've gone, well, that's too harsh, and there's too many fucking whinging motherfuckers out there like,
just to bring back
my parents hit me as a kid.
If it's deserved,
There's just like
you got to deserve it.
there's a difference between abuse and discipline, and disciplining your kid out of love to teach them the right lesson they need versus hitting them in anger. So if your kid does something wrong and you just walk over and fucking smash them, then that's doing it in anger, and it's not teaching them anything. That's just like, fuck, my parent
Yeah, but that
hates
needs
me
to
and
be
they're hitting me.
policed. There needs to be some
There's no
sort
way
of,
to police it because it all happens at home.
I'm sure there's people out there still smacking their kids.
well, education is what we come back to with a lot of things on this podcast, is educating people how to be a fucking parent. Pick the right times. Now, what you're saying is not the case for every kid, because my sisters would get a stern talking to, they'd be scared shitless. Me, if I just got a talking to, I'd do it 5 minutes later, the same thing. So I had to get a smack to learn not to do it. Otherwise, I'd just keep doing it.
Because it
I'd be
doesn't.
like, well,
There's
fuck
no.
you.
You can't have a blanket approach to every child.
No.
No.
So teaching parents how to parent is probably the first port of call there in this sort of.
The whole thing is just slowly degrading over time.
Well, it has been
It
for a
is.
while.
Definitely.
Like you see the changes between our grandparents to parents and us to our kids.
So I'll qualify my statement. Corporal punishment done correctly, not through abusive manners, I think that would benefit society. For it to be acceptable to be like, if you fuck up, then I know I'm going to get a quick fucking
Quick fuck. Yeah.
I'm going to get a quick, short, sharp, shiny punishment.
time.
It's going to be some fucking a sore ass for a bit. Then we move on. I've learnt my lesson. Bang, done.
See, I agree
Like
completely.
When I
to be
heard
honest.
corporal punishment, I heard capital punishment.
Yeah, same.
And I'm like, holy shit, that just went up a level.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, whoa.
But no, I think parents should be allowed to discipline their children with smacking.
Could you link this to maybe
if I
having a bit of freedoms in Australia? Like in Australia, the government has this thing, an incident occurs and then they just bubble wrap it. Instead of that happening, allowing people to make mistakes to a reason and within the law, but just promoting a bit of freedom and a bit of patriotism, installing it into your kids as well, if that makes sense.
I think people just need to be fair and reasonable and look at things and fucking go, well, this is an isolated incident. This is one fuckhead doing the wrong thing. We don't need to blanket ban it to stop everyone doing it because it's just one person. Because so many times we see someone doing the wrong thing and it ruins it for everyone. There's always going to be
That's always gonna
outliers.
happen.
There's always going to be outliers. There's always going to be dickheads out there that do the wrong thing or abuse a privilege, but that doesn't mean something should just be blanket banned. So, for example, the bow hunting that they've tried because some fuckhead used a target tip, shot a seal, shot a kangaroo. Yes, they're bad things. Definitely. No one should ever have done that, but don't ban it for everyone.
So with this and bringing it back to the kids, smacking with an open palm on the backside only, is that enough?
Again, you got to know your kid
See,
and the age of them as well. So when you're the toddler, a little fucking smack on the backside for a toddler with just your hand, it's not an excessive amount of force, but they learn their lesson.
yeah, I agree. See, the only reason why I ask is because at school, by the headmaster as well, we'd get the rule across the hands. He'd be like, if it was minor, he'd be like, put your hand on the desk. So,
If you're real bad, you get the side of that ruler.
yeah, sometimes he could have been in a bad mood. So it was, it was.
At the end of the day, it didn't
play your
cripple you
cards.
and you fucking learned a lesson, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at his fingers.
Well, I learnt respect. Well, and I'm sure we can all attest to this. Is we learnt respect for others, which is something this society is fucking completely lacking.
I sort of, to go in the same sort of aspect as what you're saying, I would think a national conscription of at least 12 months.
12 months is training, so you're gonna have to be like 2 years.
But that's all you need.
A lot of countries is like
true.
4 years.
Like, because that's 6 months is training
True.
and then 6 months of battalion or whichever.
No, it's 6 months of Kapuka and then
No, it's not
13,
6 months. It's 3 months of
13.
Kapuka.
No, because there's the Kapuka and then the advanced soldier course, and then I don't know if they've still got it, but advanced soldier course and then Singo for an infantry soldier.
Yeah, but I was 3 months in Kapuka. And then I think I was 4 or so, 5 months in Singo only because I was in holding platoon. It wasn't actually all training.
Right.
But anyway, so conscription, regardless of how long training takes, it doesn't matter. But one, you're sort of educating your general public on being a soldier of any sort. So it just helps your national security. And two, you do learn a lot through those moments where you sort of get broken down and sort of learn a lot of values out of just respect for your sort of, I guess, rank or superior or anything like that.
Yeah, I'll get you.
There's going to be the people that you just can't. And being an instructor, I guess it'd be hell going through a national conscription. But I feel like it'll, give kids have their gap years anyway after school. They have their 12 months off, trying to work out what they're doing. That could work similar to that way. More it's forced, so they probably want a gap year after that. But
Yeah, I'll get you.
I feel like that'll just give a lot of kids either an appreciation to what they had or a direction.
See, with that conscription, you got to look at budget. You have to increase the military budget, which means pulling money away from other places.
Yeah, like the pollies.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
they could take a decrease in pay, but
pay for it.
we'd have to support that budget wise. So that in itself, and not every man is going to be able to do conscription physically.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to go infantry.
You have to meet the requirements.
Yeah,
I feel like you don't want a bunch of people in the army that don't want to be there either.
Well, man, I kind of disagree with that statement.
of course you do.
Because I know a couple of guys that went, and most people during training, they would go through a phase where they'd be like, fuck this, I want out. Especially Singo, Kapuka, 100% Kapuka, because it's just such a culture shock. They're just like, I want out. Nah, I've had enough. They push through, and then they become fucking wicked-ass soldiers, man. Like, they push through because they've got no choice to leave. Obviously, you can leave, but they're enticed to push through. They push through, and then at the end of it, they come out and they're a better person.
Well,
And
that's why.
Yeah, I think going through that process would be, to anyone who physically can, I think that process would be of benefit because you're overcoming adversity.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself through something and going, well, I'm either going to sink or swim here.
Yeah,
And you can either choose to fucking flake out or you can choose to push through and overcome. So I think that side of it's good. But then once you get out to the other side, like, I'm sure not everyone's still, say you pass, I'm sure there's still going to be a lot of people that's going to say, I don't want to be in the army.
That's why
for
you got
sure.
like 12 months and then they're out. So, you're out. And they did do that for a while. They did that gap year
they're
program.
not still doing it.
I don't know. But they did that gap year
Yeah.
program where, you could basically have a taste of the army. And then
Yeah, that was
decide
a
if you wanted it.
minimalised training as well.
Yeah, yep.
It wasn't
And
the
they,
same.
and they got the fun training outside of the shortened basic training. When they got the battalion, they actually had to segregate them in the infantry units. So they weren't allowed to amalgamate with the full-timers because they just get bashed. So they actually put them into another unit, still under infantry or whatever they were going in as, but they'd got to go kayaking, abseiling like every week. They got to do all these fucking cool shit to entice them to stay. And you're just like, ha, fuck you.
I think the overarching point here is the generations under us are pretty snowflakey. Like they don't really know what it is to overcome adversity, have some hardship in life to the point now where they have no real problems, so they're inventing problems.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big problem
saw
in
that on a
society
video
as well. And do you ever wonder that it's because we've lost the ability to say no to our children? My parents once said to me, they're like,
No.
I love you, but I don't like you right now.
What?
And because of my behaviour. And that's understandable. Like, at times, and we've all been
I
here.
never got that. I got that maybe disappointed in you.
No, but we've
Not
all,
that I don't like you.
We've all been at this table where
wanted
we
my
all love
daughter.
each other as brothers, but there are times where we all piss each other off to the point where it's fucking title, mate. And you don't like the person at that time. You still love them. You're still going to be mates with them, but you don't like them at that time. And it makes perfect sense.
You don't
like
like
I love
behaviour.
you, but I don't like you
the
right
behaviour.
now.
Don't like the behaviour.
So is it? Have we lost the ability to say to our children, no?
Some people have.
Yeah, for sure. I remember like going to the shops with your parents as a kid. Like you wouldn't get much or anything a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But these days, it seems like a lot of parents are either giving your kid pocket money to go buy something or just buying whatever they want.
It's an important lesson itself, being told you can't have something because you don't just get everything you want. There is a lot of parents that just give their kids everything they want. It's teaching them no lessons.
None. Yeah.
Then they have this sense
I
of
teach them a
entitlement.
lesson. They get what they want.
It gives them a sense of entitlement. They think they can just have whatever they fucking want without earning it.
And there's already a shortage in our education in teaching them life skills and monetary skills at school anyway. So that's just compounding this problem that we've got.
Yeah.
Instead, they're more worried about, you've got to call her by they, them, fucking, I don't know, I'm not down with that lingo, but, instead of teaching them that, they could be teaching them, right, you're at school, you're going to go into the workforce eventually. You're going to get paid $100 a week. Well, guess what? The government's going to take 33% out of that. Then you need to save 33.
How many dollars are you?
So what you're saying is they should teach more life lessons in school. I agree with you 100%. They should teach less bullshit you don't need in life and more life skills.
Instead of teaching them, you can love anyone you want, which should just be a fucking given anyway, like love who you want. Instead of teaching them that and harping on that, teach them, right, this is what you're going to face in the world. And then also teach them, which is something that I found as a culture shock when I had the cafe, and that was the work ethic of a 16-year-old. When I was 16, bro, I was fucking killing it, and I didn't need to be told, I'd just do it. When I had the cafe, there would be a lull, plates on a table, or sweeping needed to be done or whatever, and the kids would be in the back fucking ginning around. And you expect that to some degree because they're children, you do. But every shift and after being told once, no. You think being told once, you'd be all right for a few months. Then they try and push the boundaries again a couple months later. No, it was like every shift. What are you doing, mate? Go sweep the fucking floors. Go fucking wash the dishes. No, it was terrible, man. People need to be taught when you go into the workforce, well, fucking work.
Yeah, they seem to be struggling a lot these days. But the workforce seems to be sort of twisting towards the way of the new worker.
Yeah, like, again, the whole everyone else owes me a living. I would get everything handed to me on a platter. I don't have to work hard. That's a fucking shit mentality. Like, people ask me what attracted me to my missus. One of the first things I actually noticed about her, because we worked at the same company, the first thing I really noticed about her was her work ethic. As weird as that sounds.
That she could work it.
No, the first thing you notice is the looks on a person. I completely disagree with that.
No, not
If
the
you
first.
are
Not
not
the first. Not the first thing. The first thing I found attractive was the work ethic. To be honest,
Saying a lot. I'm just going to not talk.
You sure you want to say that on the podcast, man?
Obviously, outside of physical attractiveness.
So the
you said the
second
first
thing-
thing. You said
All right,
the,
so the
you said the
second
first
thing-
thing that attracted you.
The second thing, outside of physical attractiveness, was the work ethic, because she was very different in that. She's younger than me. She's like fucking 8 years younger than me. So you could almost say it's a different generation, just about. But very different in the fact that she's looking for things to help out with and things to work,
she
and
was
not just
driven.
sit,
She was
not
driven.
not just sit there and go, oh well, there's nothing to do. I'm going to sit here on my phone. Well, hang on. If there's nothing for her to do in her department, go find something else somewhere else to do. Showing some initiative. That fucking does not exist anymore. People do the bare
Or
minimum.
It's very rare.
It's very rare.
But it's, in a way, if you're driven at a younger age, like now, you're going to go somewhere with work and
Yeah.
a career, because you're just going to excel so much easier as a driven person compared to if the general sort of population of your era.
Because that's how
is
it
gonna be
works
just
in the
slack.
real world. It's how it works in the real world. That hasn't really changed.
No.
No, not really. Not at all.
There's some outliers, you know, you can fucking get your tits out on OnlyFans and make a shit ton of money, or Instagram or whatever. But that's not for everyone.
Well,
That's
there's-
just some
And that's a short-lived.
There's
If you're going to
no-
rely on that for long-term
Well,
investment.
no, you could make a lot of money in that time and retire. There's new avenues for making money now. That's definitely fucking for sure with OnlyFans.
the people who actually make money out of it are few and far between. But
How hard are they working?
because it's on social media and it's so well publicized, everyone fucking thinks they can do it.
Yeah.
But the actual people making bank, making a shit ton of money, one, they're probably famous first. And then two, they're doing, like, there's probably not that many people who are making excessive amounts of money.
Or two or three, later on they're going to neck themselves
But
because
it's-
they're just embarrassed about what
It's
they
marketed like everyone can.
Yeah, look, we know how hard it is to be in the social media space. Like, you know, obviously this podcast is there.
do. Is it hard?
Well, it is, man. And I was thinking about this the other day, actually. You know, we rock up every week, you know, and then there's time editing, time doing videos, time talking to people, time fucking setting things up.
Time sucking and
Sucking
fucking.
people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, that's in your portfolio.
Time-
Work to do.
You know, there's all this time that you're doing outside of your standard working hours that you're doing it, and a lot of the time that's also amalgamated into your standard working hours.
Don't know what you're talking about, man.
Well, you do because you know.
You can't just fucking take a holiday from it. Like, there's not a day that goes past where something
So if you're not
involving the
yeah.
podcast doesn't exist.
what I'm trying to say is, if you're not willing to put the work in, then it's not going to go anywhere.
To make it hard for social media, I feel like it only will get hard if you have an unrealistic expectation of what you want from it.
You got to have a passion.
But if you you have a realistic expectation of what you want, it becomes less hard and more just somewhat enjoyable. But if you expect yourself to sort of be somewhere where you're not, then it becomes a chore.
If you set out to try and make money from
or,
social media, I think you're going to fail probably 98% of the time.
or just
If
to try
you're-
and be that one viral account that just
Yeah.
sort of explodes overnight.
Yeah, if you're going to be there because you love it, you're going to succeed. There was something about this I read this week, and it was like the 10-year fucking social media sort of viral thing. So when you look at most people that are predominant on social media platforms, they didn't really get, I guess, to where they are at the moment until 10 years. So they pushed through 10 years of, you know, grinding and slaving away. I hate that word, grinding. Slaving away.
That's the word you
and
choose
it
to hate.
didn't sort of tick over until that 10-year mark. I mean, in business, typically it's like normal business. It's like 3 to 4 year mark. If, you know, then you find that scales.
That
sort of
measures
tip.
stability. Yeah.
For social media, it's sort of like 10 years.
I think because your viral accounts will get somewhere just overnight or over a week, but they don't have the drive or the sort of the want to continue.
Those are the ones
long
that get-
term,
Those are the ones
they'll
that get
just close.
publicised, though. Those are the ones in the spotlight of the times, like the ones that go viral overnight, the ones that just blow up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that get all the publicity. it's not the fucking grinding away, and then you fucking get a rise. They're not what you hear about.
All right, case in point, you look at they both fight. Fuck, we've spoken about him before.
Logan Paul. Was it Logan Paul?
Logan Paul.
Logan.
You know, like 10 years and then it
Paul
ticked
Logan?
over and he started, you know, making
YouTube
like coin
yeah.
and getting to where he is. You know, and you look at him from where he was just making
Random videos.
random videos and funny videos and things. And then, you know, he obviously had some income that came in. Otherwise, because I'm pretty sure he didn't have a job, I don't know his story. But, you know, it didn't really tick over until like globally, till he'd sort of like stuck it in for a good 10 years.
Yeah.
There's a tipping point at some point that tipping point is, well, that, you know, place where things exponentially grow is different for everything. There's no one formula to say, all right, after 3 months of doing X,
No,
you
I'm
are
just
going
talking
to
in
blow
general.
up. Yeah, in general. Yeah.
I just think in general, if you have to work for it, you're more inclined to continue with it.
So it's easy to get disillusioned by it as well, to go, well, hang on, if you're setting X social media identity as your benchmark and go, well, after 3 months, they went from here to here, and after our 3 months, that didn't happen. Well, you can't be depressed and fucking upset about that because it's just so different. You might be in a different market completely. Like,
Yeah. There was one stat I listened to, it was about podcasters. And he said 99% of podcasters stop before they hit 2 episodes because they realise it's too hard. 99% of that 1% stop before they hit 20.
Yeah.
So you're in, the 0.1 percentile if you get past 20 episodes.
sheesh.
Jeez. Maybe we should take a look at our lives. Fucking hell.
We're nearly up to 100 now.
Yeah.
Jesus. 100 times we've been sitting there behind these mics.
Well,
At more than
you
100.
too. You
Because we had 8 months of twat waffling before.
Well, 20 episodes a season. This is episode 19 of season 5. Plus, we've had some bonuses and Christmas specials, so we're over 100 now.
So I'm yet to break my 20. I'll get there.
Ooh, you're almost there. Keep chugging away.
Well,
and you'll be in the
you're a guest, so you're at
0.1%.
20.
Yes.
Oh, you are.
So I'll break 20 next
And
week.
we've recorded a special, which is not out yet.
Oh,
So you're over 20.
done.
There you go.
High five.
Worst high five ever.
Fucking.
Well, that's Mike beer.
Anyway, I feel like we've gone on a tangent, but I just wanted to say, well, I think we need to make Australia better. There's my fucking baseline. This is what we need to do. Teach some fucking respect in a generation. Bring back corporal punishment. People should be allowed to smack the kids in the right way, not abuse, in the right way. Not all smacking is abuse.
No.
There is a place for it. I feel like there's a place for
if
it
they ask for it.
to use it properly.
They say smack me daddy.
See, I'm.
Bring
You
it on.
sick fuck. I'm surprised you went to that, actually, because I'm sitting there thinking there's
because
100 other ways to make Australia
Yeah, but
great.
I feel like that's just like a
Canal would be better.
Well,
I feel like that's fuck your canal. I feel like that's a grassroots level thing. Which
cultural
then
change,
That's a cultural change, exactly. That
The long
stems
game.
into everything else. Well, you could say, all right, well, change the prime minister to X person.
Me.
But I feel like that's just
That's
a
a Band-Aid,
band-aid,
yeah.
a band-aid approach.
It is.
Or a
It
sugar
needs to
hit
be
or
it
something,
needs to
yeah.
be a ground up approach. So what is at the core of our society?
Food.
Constitution.
Mate, we
Community.
don't have a constitution.
Yeah, get one.
You just want Second Amendment. That's-
No,
you
I
just want-
don't. I don't actually.
Well,
I
if
still.
Australia made a constitution, we might not have the Second
We
Amendment.
should
being
become
good.
a republic.
No, I still think we should become a republic.
I knew you'd go.
Write a constitution. You know, and I'm not talking from a pro-gun sort of writing constitution, although that would be
the way we're going.
that
will
would be lovely.
dictatorship soon. Well, Victoria will anyway.
Yeah, how dumb are those? Yeah, dude's dead set. I reckon there's some sort of dodgy shit going on.
Could you imagine though, just to pull you up on that, not pull you up, but just stop you there. If we were to become a republic now, with the powers in place that we have.
Oh, no, we
wrote a constitution.
No, fuck no.
Fuck no, because it would be the most woke piece of shit, and then we'd be locked into that.
I feel
The only reason the Constitution works for America is the
Because it
people
was
wrote it.
written
the
in
era
the
it was written.
1700s.
And it was written after the Civil War. So they took back the country from the sort of dictatorship.
Yeah,
order.
I wouldn't be wanting to write a constitution now.
I do agree, but I also think people would be a little less blasé in the way they voted if we were a republic. I don't think people.
I think you're giving too much faith.
No, I really don't, because you're going to vote for a party that, you know, sounds good just for your immediate likes and dislikes, but has no experience in the finance department and like leadership and running a country, or a business at least. Businessmen do make good politicians, they do. I think people would take a little more care in
It would
voting,
be very
to be
different
honest.
because you're voting for president. You're voting for one person to
for a
lead you.
7-year term, which allows enough time for them to make changes, keep changes in place, trial those changes, and then they don't work. Well,
7's a long
you know,
time.
I think 7's too long. To
5,
lock-
I was thinking.
I think don't lock someone in for 7.
5.
I feel like
4 years is too short, and that we can use that right now as a model. You know, you get the laws done, they're passed, they through new fucking new party comes in and scraps it, so nothing actually gets changed.
Yeah, they spend their time doing the deals that they made to get their position. That brings them up to about midpoint,
I think
where they have like probably, I don't know, they have a small time span to actually sort of enact on what they want, but then they're looking at the next sort of voting sort of campaigns.
Only way
after that.
I do 7 is if there was like a 4 and 3, so like a trigger or some sort of clause in there.
Halfway term kind of thing.
Yeah, like if after 4 years you haven't done X or the public polling is not less than such and such, so like a trigger clause. All right,
Yeah, I like that.
You get your last 3 years if X,
Impeachment.
rather than just be like 7 years, bang, you're in. Do whatever you want for 7 years.
So, yeah, this is where sound minds would write that. Would be part of the Constitution. You know, you'd write this and you'd think about it for a long time, run some scenarios in a think tank, and go, okay, well, X amount of times good. All right, let's put that in the Constitution. It would take a lot of work. A lot of work.
I wouldn't trust the powers that be now to write that though for us.
No,
I think
you'd
they
want
would fuck us.
you'd want a fair.
If you're going to do that, you'd want across the board, regardless of who's in power or not, it'll just be a involved decision between a lot of them.
Well, you'd obviously have to redo a vote immediately, and yeah.
But it wouldn't work out
Hey, look,
in our favour.
Look, it probably wouldn't
Not
work
with our
out in our
culture at the
favour.
moment.
No, and this is where maybe starting at the educational level and, you know, ingraining some good morals into people would
If
be
you fix
good.
the generation at the grassroots, like the ones coming up now, if you fix them with some fucking good ethics and some good morals and make them good humans, then they're going to grow into adults that make good decisions.
Mhm.
I wouldn't fucking trust this generation making the decisions.
Yeah, see, I
Moving
think
forward.
I think with that scenario, we're too far gone. We're not going to implement these things, especially with the woke society right now. So it's going to turn worse before it gets better.
It's going to take like another world war or some
Civil, yeah.
some sort of massive
Let's-
event to change everything.
Let's just hope there's not war on our own soil, man.
Yeah, but it's going to take a fucking
It will take
life-changing event
Yeah.
to turn everything on its head. Otherwise, we're going to keep going on this fucking bullshit.
Definitely will. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Make Australia great again. Fuck America.
So that's where I was heading there with mine as well. So
I was hoping you brought it back to some gun shit.
All right, Mr. fucking American laws.
you had guns. This is hunting, fishing, outdoors, and life in general.
Yeah.
And we just got life in general. All right.
Neither of us are particular savvy on life in general.
We're talking about guns and fishing.
Oh, God.
and getting a smack.
Maybe we should start our own political party.
Send it, mate. Party. It works. Same acronym. Send it, mate. Podcast. Send it, mate.
It was simp.
Party. Simp.
God, I love it.
I really need to get the proper definition of what simping is and what a simp is.
Google it.
Do we do it now?
It does feel like there's some sexual innuendo ingrained into its fucking acronym.
I wasn't thinking that when we came up with Send It, Mate podcast.
Yeah. No, none of us were. That's for sure.
We went in the acronym space at that point in time.
All right, so Couchy, that was going to be your thing, and you just touched on it before about bringing
A simp.
A silly or foolish person.
A simp. A simpleton. That's just short for simpleton.
No, simp.
A
Don't complicate it. It's
No,
just
I'm not.
simp.
I'm not. No, you're going like a fucking Oxford Dictionary definition
That's
of
just
a
the
simp.
first thing come up to Google. That's
I'm
as far
telling
as
you,
I go.
that's just
That
short
actually-
for simpleton. But what in a fucking 2022 definition is a simp?
Simp is an internet slang term describing someone who shows excessive sympathy and attention towards another person. Typically someone who does not reciprocate the same feelings in pursuit of affection or a sexual relationship.
It's like being submissive to someone else, basically.
It is when a male is overly submissive to a female and gains nothing from it.
Exactly. So you're fucking being a bitch. Fucking gesture at me. Mate, don't even go there.
But yeah, that was mine as well. So
All right, but that was yours. So what would you
So what,
change?
we
You
crossed
mentioned on
swords.
it. You
do
mentioned
we
it before.
change it, or do I just? That's why I let it run.
Did we dock on a fucking...
No,
That's why
what
we
would you
docked.
change?
It's the first 100% docking.
I said that conscription. That's why.
Oh, you did too. I thought you said industry first. Manufacturing.
Manufacturing would be a good one. But yeah, I feel like we've sort of beaten that.
Manufacturing
pretty
is
well.
not going to happen
Nope, okay.
unless we bring down our average wages.
Which ain't going to happen because everyone fucking bitches and moans, oh, I don't want to work for that much. Because
Yeah.
people aren't willing to work unless you pay them
You
an
can't-
exorbitant amount.
you can't pay more because then you're worth less. The dollar's worth less. So, I don't know of anything in history where they've devalued money. Sorry, they have devalued money, but sorry,
It's called inflation.
they've cut down how much you get paid on a national scale, and then increased
Decrease the minimum
decrease
wage.
the cost of living.
There's been plenty of things to decrease the cost of living.
But not decrease how much you get paid.
The minimum
for
wage
us to
keeps going
have-
up. It doesn't go down.
For us, for manufacturing to come back in, well, you can't manufacture something and then expect Australians to buy it at, say, $100 an item when China can make it for $10 an item. People aren't going to fucking pay that, mate. It's ludicrous.
Well, soon we probably won't have the choice.
So if you simply decrease how much your average pay is and decrease the cost of living at the same time, well, I think you could be onto something there. Okay?
Depends on what you want to manufacture, though.
But you'd have to decrease everything. That means
Oh,
prices of houses, how much gas is worth, how much food's worth, how much clothes are
But
worth.
you can't just. I
Not
suppose
necessarily. Just it comes down to what you are manufacturing. So if you are manufacturing tech stuff with high value, then you can afford the high labor component of it.
But once again, that's sending it offshore to sell, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm talking about, and I don't know if Couch you were going here, but manufacturing for products to stay in the country.
But a good way to boost your economy is to export.
Then it's hard.
You're obviously going to do both, but an allocation of, say, X amount is allocated to Australia.
Because one of the things that I sort of don't like about it is we have a lot of raw resources here in Australia that a lot of the world use in pretty much everything.
And we don't capitalise.
We don't capitalise on it. The more you can process that and manufacture it, the more money you can make off that point.
because we can't, because the average wage of, say, a factory worker is 90K a year
All right,
here, where in China it's fucking $10 a year.
All right, well, if we stopped exporting our ore and used it in this country, there's less ore out in the world to be able to use to make cheap items.
What we should do is fucking mine our own uranium and use that for power.
Yes.
Yeah, that's...
Then we don't
definitely go nuke.
Hell, exactly. That's a no-brainer.
Without a doubt, we should go nuke.
Go nuclear.
The amount of fucking blackouts I've had to live through in the past 2 years. Mate, Cherryville, it was like fucking daily. Oh, power's out. Oh, power's
You had a
out.
tree just
Oh,
go over the power lines. Eh?
no. Fridge is out.
Basically lived in a black hole.
Yeah.
Oh, no receptions. Can't even call someone. Who cares? It's fucking
You
terrible.
couldn't anyway if you had reception.
I think you just got to identify the right manufacturing
I love you. This doesn't like you.
or not raw materials. What are my primary resources that we fucking utilize? So, like nuclear, we should mine uranium and use that and have nuclear power stations in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not gonna. That's not gonna. That's not gonna change a lot of things. I think
It's going to change a lot.
if you can, it will change a lot, but not everything. If you could be a self-sufficient country, wouldn't you want to be?
Yes.
You'd
You
think
still
so, yeah.
export X amount to keep these businesses flourishing and turning over a profit.
I think we're too hell bent on trade agreements. So to benefit that trade agreement, we have to buy so much of their shit to use here and export all of ours.
I don't think we're ever going to exist in an Australia where we are buying toys made in Australia versus Chinese shit.
Toys is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like car manufacturing, Holden shut down. Fucking, so we're going offshore to do that because it's cheaper. Understand it? Whatever. Cool. Bring it back.
But it's
So
only
then we've got to
because
decrease the wage.
Holden paid quite well. And exceedingly well for their staff, which I guess in that instance, it was good to look after your staff and you keep them there, which betters your product.
Yeah, but are we expecting too much money from the average wage?
Yeah, we talked about that.
If you decrease that average wage, and this is not going to sit well with anybody because it doesn't sound fucking great, but you could have manufacturing a car in this country viable, but no one's going to do it. No one's going to take a pay cut, especially if the cost of living doesn't come down. If the cost of living came down, okay, and it would be a huge nationwide reform, and it would fucking probably sting. I don't know, but that's the only way I could see
It wouldn't
manufacturing
sting
happen.
if everything came down to the same scale. It would be the same.
Yeah, it wouldn't sting that bad if everything came down.
Everything came down the
instant.
same scale. It wouldn't achieve anything.
Everything is interrelated. So the cost of nothing is going to come down until, like, for example, the cost of fuel. If that keeps going up, then all the other associated
Everything
things,
goes up.
everything goes up. So you can have manufacturing all you like, but if it costs a shit ton to transfer,
there's nothing-
to
Can't we
transport,
mine our own oil
There's nothing that's not associated with fuel.
and refine our own oil?
so there's like a fucking problem that is overarching to everything. Is fact you make something, you can make it real cheap, you can sell it, but then you got to fucking transport it.
We do mine our own
You're
oil.
fucked. So you got to address a lot of issues to be able to bring the cost of
Yeah,
stuff
so
down.
mine your own oil, refine it here.
We just don't refine it. We
Use that.
export it and
Yeah.
then import the product.
So refine it here and keep it here, and then invade another country that has an oil reserve. Call it Australia Part 2. Fucking.
But we
do the
wouldn't
same.
need another oil reserve.
Mandatory
Like, Australia
conscription.
has I think it's in the 20% of the world's population oil.
We've got a lot.
We've got a crazy amount.
Yeah,
So
definitely a lot.
why shouldn't
A
we
lot of
utilise it?
oil is under places that are habited and sacred.
Well, yeah, the Great Barrier Reef's one of them that has a massive amount of oil under there. And the other ones, I think around the APY lands in Central Australia.
Which, okay,
Which they've already found ways to get to that oil.
they have.
they're
You
doing
can drive past the drill hole.
They're doing horizontal boring.
Well, there you go. keep it here, refine it here then.
The problem with doing that is they're struggling because the basin is like right below it. And once they break that seal, it's fucked.
Yeah.
Fucked.
You'll turn into just a wasteland.
It's so inefficient. It's way easier to go down, not sideways.
So just drill in the land.
But maybe, no, I won't say that.
Drill straight down.
Well, you could say it. If you regret it, you just take it out.
I was going to say maybe if we fixed the problem at the grassroots level and people had genuine respect and didn't just fucking pander to some woke bullshit.
That was well done. I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Then we could actually just go about doing what we need to do without fucking dancing around all these fucking issues. Like, fuck. I don't. People know what I'm fucking getting at. I'm not going to say it.
Could be a multitude of things you're meaning.
But there's a fucking shit ton of things we could utilize.
Yeah.
For the greater good of the majority.
One thing that was concerning, actually, talking about the global fucking scale of things, a lot of countries just before COVID broke out started buying more gold and stockpiling more gold. Australia was one, China was one, States was one.
But we've been stockpiling gold for years, man.
Yeah, but they were
to
just
control the price of the market or to keep it in our own reserve.
Well, we're not based on gold anymore. It's a stock market. But I think they were predicting a crash on a global scale. So they were hoarding gold. So obviously the fallback then is to resort back to gold-based currency.
Well, gold's always going to be a currency, regardless, because that's a security.
Yeah, well, that's what we measure as the most. Well, not the most, but a precious metal, definitely. But
like we've been,
I don't
the
know.
amount of gold that we mine compared to what we sell is way more, but we don't sell it all when we can, just because if we do, we flood the market and it drops the price.
Yeah, you can't. But if there's a global recession and the stock market crashes, what are you going to resort back to? Gold. We have a mine here in South Australia. They mine something else underneath the gold. I can't remember what it is. But apparently, as you go down the elevator shaft, down all the floors, you can see just the gold on the walls as you're going down.
Yeah.
Like, there's that much of it. And they don't mine it because they'll know they'll crash the market. I was seeing photos of it from a guy that worked at I met at the cafe, actually. He worked at Coates Hire, and they obviously sub out all the lighting equipment and generators and things to the mining companies. He was a mechanic. He'd go down there. And I don't know if he was allowed to take photos, so sorry, dude, if you're hearing this, but he took photos of going down the mine shaft. And
No apologies,
and
but
yeah, I'm sure it's not a well kept secret.
Yeah, well, around
anyway,
when I lived at Minterby, so it was Opal Town, but one of the older fellas I just got to know, he used to be a prospector for the government, and there's gold all through there as well.
Really?
But
well, that makes sense. Yeah.
No, they're not selling the permit to get gold.
Yeah,
Because
that
the
makes
government
sense.
know it's there.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It does.
So it's
I mean, that whole prospecting thing on an amateur level's taken off. I mean, Aussie gold hunters, when you look at that show, guys are running around with metal detectors on plots. You know, what's the matter?
don't go down your fucking metal detector thing.
Why not?
Why not? Because you're a fucking buzzkill, mate.
It's probably a.
If I come across a fucking 40-kilo nugget, you ain't getting any
you're
now.
not coming across a 40 kilo nugget.
I do not see you going out fucking with a metal detector.
You want to know how to
looking for
use it,
gold.
man.
If the gold had antlers, I'd be there.
You probably
Exactly.
Nah, I could see you
Exactly.
getting lucky once, finding like a grand's worth of gold, and you're hooked and you spend all your money on that and you go down and run yourself to in debt.
Nah, there was gold and silver on my property in Cherryville and never fucking tried it. I had some prospectors come in.
You did try it, but you never found it.
How do you know
No,
it was
I
there?
didn't try.
You had panning. You panned.
No, so my neighbour panned, and whilst I was with him, he found gold in our creek. So the gold's there, and the guys coming in doing the metal detecting, they found silver. I was like,
You
"Oh."
never looked for that.
I personally thought it was like my projectiles stuck in the hill and just like the leads all come apart and they picked up and they're like, oh, that's silver. That's what I thought.
You lived like 100 meters from that area. Nah, a little longer. But
It's like a K.
not even.
To
Oh,
get
might be.
down to where you
Maybe,
can get
but
to the
you- it
creek
was-
is about a K.
You'd be there before I get out to the main road from my house. Like, that's how close it is.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
And there's gold and silver, and you didn't bother looking.
Nah, man, you need an excavator to get through all the blackberry bush
To
get
make
to
a business out of it, but for personal, it's different.
Nah, I'm not in it for a spec. If I'm going to find gold, I'm going to be a 40 kilo nugget, mate.
Oh, Jesus. Well, you're not going to. I guess you're not going to get in it then. I guess.
Not with that attitude.
I don't think the biggest nugget's that big.
I don't know how. Well, is it the biggest nugget,
Is this where
Has it
froth,
been
Is
found?
this where froth nuggets came from?
mate?
Is this 'cause
I'd
you
be
would-
frothing a nugget if I found one.
No, that was the.
I would froth a nugget. I'd froth a
But
nugget.
you're not frothing the beer because you're being a pussy. That's for sure.
What?
Seeing your stubby's empty.
Because I'm finished drinking for the evening.
Holy shit! The biggest nugget was 78 kilos.
There you go. 40 kilos doesn't seem like an unreachable task.
Fuck me.
Yeah, what would
Victoria?
that be worth?
Hey.
Victoria.
I'm pretty sure it was big.
Yes.
There was a fucking movie about it, wasn't there? The nugget.
Mulligal in 1869.
Okay, the movie was fiction.
Why is that?
I'm just saying. I don't think I've ever watched the nugget. I just don't know the story.
Oh, okay.
But I think it was about that nugget. Pretty sure.
It's a different type of nugget.
Just a nugget.
You're well versed in little nuggets, aren't you?
It was worth 4.4 mil. That's not bad.
I'd
for a
expect
nugget.
it to be more. 70 kegs. Jesus.
Actually, have you seen the movie with Zac Efron?
Well, that's
Gold.
current market.
Yes.
It could have been more
That was-
back then.
That was,
It was terrible. You can say it. It was fucking shit.
look.
What
It
did you watch?
was,
The movie Gold with Zac Efron.
yeah, okay, it was terrible.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was fucking
I
terrible.
thought it was going to be way better than it
Makes
was.
me want to watch it.
I don't even know when it's set, how it's set. Like, it's weird. Like, it's almost going into like this war-torn Australia.
Like almost post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd say post it, but it doesn't really tell you that it's post-apocalyptic or what's happened. And then he gets a lift into some mine site with a fella and they find gold on the way, just to ruin the movie for everybody. And
It's called Gold. I'm
yeah,
just assumed.
he ends up staying with the gold while the old fella goes down to get something to get it out, an excavator or something to
That's
get
right,
it
because
out.
they couldn't dig it out themselves.
Yeah. And ends up fucking perishing because he's in the desert. And we live in a desert.
It's just a story about greed and survival and
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, watch it.
I think
Watch
I might.
it. It's intensely frustrating.
It is.
You know, I watched the other day a movie called Dog.
It's about a dog.
Yes. It's Channing Tatum.
Oh, God.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I've seen
Watch
that. That's
Is
good.
it actually any good?
Yeah, it is.
I
It's
liked
good.
it.
Okay.
It was really good.
It's like number one trending on
don't know if
Amazon
you-
Prime at the moment.
I don't know if you'd like it.
No, you don't really like many things.
I don't know if you'd like if it would be down your alley. But
It's military, but you'd like it. Watch it.
I don't reckon
I've
you
watched
would.
the trailer. I know what it's about.
Yeah, I don't know if you would like it.
Is this
no.
reverse psychology?
No, well, it does hit home to sort of more vets,
Yeah.
like than
It was.
than anything.
It was like, not that I went through a lot of
You're
that.
saying I
but
can't
fucking-
comprehend human emotion?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying
It was
that
quite hard hitting, really.
it's definitely more orientated toward veterans.
It doesn't mean only veterans can watch it and enjoy it.
No, I'm
Pretty
sure,
sure that wasn't
you
their target
You could
audience.
appreciate it, I dare say, but whether you'd watch it again or whatever, I don't know.
But yeah, no, watch it.
You're not overly a dog lover.
I've had dogs my entire life. I fucking hate cats. And you're saying I'm not a dog lover?
Yeah.
Just not a bear lover.
Overly.
At least I look after my dogs.
I look after my dog.
Your dog is a nuisance to you.
I even played ball with him the other day.
No, well, that's why, because the apple doesn't far fall from the tree, man. Josh is a nuisance to Peter.
Doesn't fall far from the tree either.
At least someone. Oh, nope, won't say that.
What?
Nope, nah, I'm not going to say that. Sorry.
At least I'm a.
Nah, I'm not going to say it.
Is this one?
I think we just
Is
take
this one of these times where if you had said it, I wouldn't like you? I'd still love you, but I wouldn't like you.
No. I realised what I was going to say as I was saying it, and I'm like, no, it's not appropriate.
Joshua.
But
Well, sounds like an appropriate time to wrap this shit up before we start hurling abuse at each other.
Yeah.
it is. Righto, dude and dudettes, you've listened to us waffle on for 2 hours and a bit now.
Or you've skipped forward and just listened to the end.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, don't forget to get us on our socials. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and all major podcast platforms. Don't forget to check out our partners, Firearm Owners United and High Caliber
Cleaning supplies.
So if you're in the market for some oils or cleaning supplies, check them out. The best damn shit on the market, mate. Anyway, that's a wrap from us. We will catch you for our last episode next week.
We will.
Yes.
Well, last episode of the season.
I was going to say can't wait, but I'm not sure if I should be excited for it or not.
I'm going to miss you guys over the break. No, I'm
I'll
not,
wait.
because we'll be spending a lot of time with each other.
Stop saying use.
Yes.
It's near yous.
It's uneducated.
Settle
Stop
down.
it. Stop it.
Settle down. Righto, dude and dudettes. Catch ya.
Gotcha.
Catch you.
Catch yous.
Yeah, I was going to say it. Fuck. We're done. See ya.
It rolls off the tongue better. Use.
No, it doesn't.
You roll the tongue
Stop
better.
it.
Stop talking in the outro.
I broke my own rule. Fuck.
G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcaliber.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses High Caliber, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.